What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to BBTFRG. How are we all? Hope we're well and fine and dandy. And how was everyone's last season? I haven't really spoken to you since last season, what with all that's gone on and that. But yeah, how'd you get on last season? Hope you all did well. I did spectacularly rubbish. Finished off in... Didn't even make diamond. First time ever I didn't make diamond. Yeah, it's always a high-res camera, Andrew. It's just that it's normally a little square in the corner. But literally face to face. Mwah. Yeah, so... yeah, how'd you get on? Yeah, Right. So what were we here? We were here for season 38. I have got Jess on call with me. Say hello, Jess.
What's up, guys? And it's season 48, but it
48, yes, it is.
No, it's okay. You said 38, I said 48, but in my video with my sneak peeks, I said 49 the whole time. I can't get the seasons right. They just kind of all blend.
Yeah, they do kind of start mixing one into another. Did I miss the bagpipes, says Blaz. Yes, I'm afraid you did, my friend, but hopefully we won't be too far away from another set of bagpipes. Last season was rubbish for me, says Yo Master. 23. Oh, what I'd give to be at 23. Right. Okay, let's just whiz through the chat very quickly. We've got Ryan in there, Martin, Jess, JP. JP's not with us at the moment. I think it's 6 o'clock across there in Australia, but he may well join us, and if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world, because we're not talking to those Australians at the moment, what with the cricket and all of that.
And my volume's a little low. Either that or I'm talking low.
Your volume's a little low. Let me go over to what do I want? I want that, and let's try turning you up there. Say something.
Yeah, what's up?
That should be a little bit better, hopefully.
But before you go to the chat, while you go to the chat, I have a hot take once we dive into the tech tree and start talking tree. But I know you want to do like a roll call and say what's up to everybody. Junie, Poing, Groove, Ryan. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, no, I was just checking a couple of other things. If someone could give me a thumbs up for Jess's volume in the chat, that would be great. But I think we should both be just about on the same level. The levels are bouncing around the same here, so I think we're all good. 10-ton Hammer's giving a thumbs down, and I don't know whether I think that might just be 10-ton. Jess is still quiet, okay.
Is it my volume in Discord?
Yeah,
my volume turned down in Discord.
No, well, right, go and say something.
Yep. Hello.
How's that? Is that better for him? There's a couple more tweaks I can make here. That's going to turn the music volume up a little bit as well, but. Right, say something again.
Still the same.
Right, that should be better. Still
yeah.
The same.
Hopefully.
Better for Jess. Better for Jess. Better. What's up? Better. Mac 10. Yeah, oh, that's better now. Okay, yeah. So it's just wow, that's massive. That's insane. If that's just that little tweak there. Okay, cool. So yeah,
what's up, bud?
Ryan, Yo Master, Dirac, Andrew in the chat, Joe Landers. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Roy for the win in there. What's up, my friend? 3 Feet and Cookie Western. Hello everyone. We've got Andrew. Wow, high res cam. No, it's my normal camera that I normally use. Just on big screen, big wide screen today. Corbin Dallas, we've got Blaster Lazo. Did I miss the bagpipes? Yes, I'm afraid you did. And I can't go back to them without putting it back on the start screen. But you got the funky ending music to come, but that's way later yet. Mac 10, how you doing? Adam Brown as well. We got a Mr. Poing sighting in the chat. What's up, Poing? And Dre Dog, 10-ton Hammer there as well. And Jess giving the love to Adam. So, yeah. Right, let's take that out of the equation. Now we've got that set up. That can come out of the equation. Where do we want to go first? Should we go and have a look at the tech tree, which is over there. Just give me a sec. Over here. And I want that folder there. That one. The tech tree. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, in all its huge, linear, massive glory. What do we think? What's everyone's reactions? Yeah, what was your first reaction when you saw it, Jess?
I had a mix of emotions. So for the first day, I was like, "Oh, I'm racing 4. I'm gonna get to bombers. It's gonna be amazing because I can go 4 ER immediately, and it's gonna be a really great season because it's gonna be bombers all season because of all the BH." Then next day rolls around, which is today, and I'm like, and so, yeah, my hot take was I think it's going to be a rude awakening for everybody. I think it's going to be rough with a capital R when the season starts. And I think it's just going to be really, really tough to progress. And so, yeah, we'll see how it shakes out, and obviously we'll go through some of the metas that we think will be happening in the morning. But yes, I think I have covered the full spectrum of emotions the past day and a half trying to diagnose this tree, and I've come to the conclusion that we're all getting bent over in one shape or form, and it's going to be rough.
Mac 10 in there with my left leg went limp looking at this tree. I think when you Fez has just said I'm done and it hasn't even started yet. What guys in the chat, what are your thoughts, guys and girls in fact in the chat, what were your thoughts when you saw it? The first thing when I opened it up, I was like, this isn't right. There's not enough vertical nodes. It's all horizontal lines. What's going on? And then actually, when you looked at it, it sort of became apparent. And then I noticed the heavy chopper hole, the black hole of Calcutta, as I called it the first time we saw it. But yeah, with the heavy choppers at the end, that was something else. But I was quite excited about it. I can see people quitting, says Mr. Poyne. Wild Tree, my debate is flare when, critters when. You're not the only person debating that, Andrew. Darago was like, WTF. Mr. Olsen, what's up, my friend? Hello, Martin. Awesome with another stream for you. Yeah, I'm hoping to get it back on track a little bit now. That's the plan. I was quite excited by the tree when I first saw it. I love the brick or no brick, says Ryan. Yep, it's a huge tree. Not even sure there'll be enough keys to unlock everything. Even then, there'll be tokens that will be bottlenecked. There will be enough keys. I mean, that's something I know a lot of people is it a 16-week season? I know a lot of people have kind of touched on it, but there are 15 extra nodes on the tree. Which is why we've got a 3-week reward CRVs, chest reward values. Thank you. 3 week CRVs, the chest reward values, for 3 weeks, but it is in a 4-week season, which I really like. I know you and I had a
complaint. About 4-week seasons is the chest ranks.
Yeah.
And if you solve that, then the 4-week seasons are enjoyable.
I know you and I had a chat about it last night, Jess, and we were saying maybe this is the long-term solution to 4-week seasons, so that the CRVs stay the same. You just make a fatter tree. Now, okay, it means that potentially we're going to have a sort of, similar sort of boosts. So normally on these trees you get 12 boost, about 12 boost nodes. On this one, I think it's 20 boost nodes, so there's an extra 8 boost nodes, and then normally you get about 12 what I call choice nodes. So that's the proto and the multi. You get about 12 choice nodes. This one has 15, I think it is. So that would be 8, 3, 11. Yeah, so there's a couple more there somewhere, but I say there's a huge amount of a huge amount of multi nodes and a huge amount of boost nodes all over this tree. But I love it. I think it's great. 4-week season with 3-week season chest rewards is a dream come true. Yeah, it's just going to mean that we can still be opening 1 or 2 bits of tech every day.
It's great for content creators as well. You guys like watching content creators. You like watching Pete stream. You like watching Martin stream. You like watching everybody stream. People don't stream when they're not unlocking stuff.
No,
People only
exactly.
stream when they're unlocking stuff and moving forward in the tree. So, more keys, more streams.
Just want to give a shout out to Junie as well. I know I've kind of gone a little bit late. It's about 11 o'clock over there, so it's his bedtime. But you can watch it tomorrow. Passy as well. And Phil Oliver just popped up in the chat, as has Axe just dropped. So what's up to you guys? Yeah, so I suppose we should kind of get into the tree in itself. I
am the biggest proponent of like dropping your stuff on deck immediately, because I think you can get gold in the first 15 to 20 minutes every season by just being the first one to build your base and the first one to start attacking. You can get the gold extremely fast. And this is the first season I'm going to think about doing the opposite. I think I'm going to maybe wait a couple beats, see what other people are doing, because your chest starts automatically. So it's not going to kill you to wait 20 minutes and see Chicken get smashed on his path, or Skull get smashed on his path, or whoever in your task force smashed on their path, and be able to carve a proper path, based on what's not working.
I think the one thing that we've, because obviously in sort of planning for this, Jess and I, we chat about the tree. There's a couple of other experts that we talk to as well. And I think the one thing that we've kind of agreed on is that there is no hard and fast path. Normally we would look to kind of 4ER. How do we get to 4ER? What's the quickest path to 4ER? But on this tree, I mean, you can do the same again. You can go, well, what's the quickest path to 4ER? But is it the best path? I will listen to this before sleeping in bed, and then when I dream about the best tech tomorrow. Andrew's made a good point there. Patience will be a virtue this season, and I think that you may have hit the nail on the head quite early there, Andrew. I think that at any stage, rushing on is going to be. May well be a little bit detrimental, but so yeah, let's get me crayons out and we can start to draw. We got a Commander J Doom in the chat. What's up, Doomer? How you doing? So yeah, obviously from the beginning, where are we going?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, my emphasis on my opinion, I think you either have to decide up front. You're either going up towards Zukas or you're going down towards heavies. And that's either getting heavies and flare and then going back up around Zukas and all the way, or you're just going straight up Zukas and around. I think that's up to each person, depending on their path. I know some people can't play without flare, some people can. Completely, a lot of optional stuff in 2 and in 3, but there's still sort of a main path almost. that most are going to take in that 2 and 3 early. It's just where you go off track is kind of optional, which is what you were talking about a moment ago, and having, honestly, 5 or 7 different real paths that people could take to get to 4ER,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a fairly safe bet that most people are going to avoid the Grens. That's 30 keys, and even if you want building health, it's still cheaper to come sort of round the outside through Zukas and then drop down to building health than spending 30 keys on Grens. So I think that they could pretty much be taken out the equation. We got a Smurp sighting in the chat as well. What's up, Smurp? So yeah, that's do you duck in and grab the mines there? It's another 16 keys. If people are going to be heavy, is heavy rush the thing? If you're going heavies and people are grabbing flares and heavies, then the mines are a reasonable counter to them. Or do you save the tokens? Save your tokens and BH and DVD and so many options. But
three groups of people. So there'll be people that rush 4ER, and they're in their own little HELL. And then there's people in 3ER that skip mines, BH, or 2 really early important nodes. And then there'll be people in 3 that get the mines to BH, and they're still moving towards 4, but they have stuff. So I think those will be the 3 main groups of people you have. Somebody's a group at 3 that'll skip mines, BH, stuff like that, and then a group at 3 that'll kind of get all the important stuff, but still be moving to 4.
So once we get to 3, we've then got a choice. The direct path obviously is along the top, medkit, DVD, machine gun. Then you've got a choice to flamethrower, boom cannons, troop health, and then ultimately that 4. Or you can choose to come round this loop here, pick up a hero, boom mines, and the troop damage. I like the look of this loop personally. You've got a hero in there, and it's a long time before you pick a hero up. A few seasons ago, we had a tree where there was no early hero, and then people slowly started picking. I think it might have been Sparky. We're going back a few seasons. And those that picked up Sparky started flying up the leaderboard. I think that having a hero is quite often underestimated in your lineup. But I
agree.
She's down there, as is the TD. And obviously, that's massively valuable. Although there's one there is another one there as well. If you're going to be hanging
I think everything in that loop is a necessity. I think we'll need everything in that loop, but I wouldn't recommend anybody get anything in that loop with their starting keys, just because if you go down that loop with your starting keys, then you're likely just going to have cannons, snipers, and mortars and shock mines as defenses. Because if you go down in that loop, you're not getting to the machine guns, flamethrowers, boom cannons. I would think.
We've got an Apex praise sighting in the chat as well. What's up, Apex? What did I miss? Not a lot, really. We're just starting off. The problem with that route is that you miss all the defences. It's exactly what Mr. Olsen's just pointed out, and that's what we'll move on to now. So we come this way to machine guns. Whether you loop that way through flamethrowers or go through tanks, obviously tanks are 4 keys dearer, but I think tanks are probably more viable than warriors, especially if you haven't picked up flare. There's no smokes there's no shocks. You up against shock mines, potentially green mines, boom mines as well. I just don't see a place for warriors this season. So I would imagine that most people here were going to be coming down through tanks. And then on to boom cannons. Do you pick up the troop health or do you go straight to 4ER? Is probably the next question after that.
I think most go to 4ER because they'll want the rifle bomber. But the problem is that if you go rifle bomber straight off the bat, you're gonna have to miss something good. You're gonna miss the TD, the BH, the mines, or troop health. You know, you can't have all four of those game-changing nodes and bombers. You know, so something's got to give.
We got Pete Minstrel citing in the chat. What's up, Pete? How you doing? Tanks equally as useless, but cost more, in my opinion, he says, which is absolutely spot on. I think the tanks have got more of a place than warriors, especially.
And never met a tank he couldn't use, so you know, you never know.
And then obviously there's building health back here that we haven't discussed, picked up or brought into the equation, and at some point in time you're going to want to be dropping down into building health to grab at that, which I mean that's that TD, this TD here. I think you gotta kind of makes sense to miss. This is the money, isn't it? Here,
I can't see, but I'm gonna agree with soft agree, even though I can't see.
The troop damage 2 and the bombardiers. That's the money. That's where everyone's going to be rushing to get towards 4ER, and then really it's a question.
25 keys.
A question of where you go from there, isn't it? Do you look at going back for things that you've missed, like building health, like critters, like boom mines and brick?
One last thing, I don't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, when I go 4ER, or when most people go 4ER, I would almost consider getting that shock bomb before I got the TD and the bombers. Because say you're using rifle Zuka, heavy Zuka, that shock bomb helps you 100 times more immediately than I think the TD does. Obviously, the TD is a game-changing node. It helps. I'm just saying that there's a little small person on my shoulder that would be, you know, telling me possibly to go shock bomb before I went TD bombers, just because you have to pay 60 keys for the TD and the bombers. So
I think it depends on kind of what situation you're in when you get to 4ER. You know, if it's late at night and you're kind of winding down and you're not going to be playing until you've got 3 or 4 chests, then it's probably worth putting the game down and wait until you've got those 60 before you move on. But if you're kind of in the role, in the phases of a push, and then it may well be worth picking up the shocks to kind of try and push on maybe for another rank. And then obviously there's the building health directly after it, which would give you 50 or potentially 100 building health depending on when you come back for this one. I quite like the fact that you've got troop damage 1 and troop damage 2 in close proximity, as have you got building health 1 and building health 2 fairly close together. I know TH 1 and 2 look like they're close together, but actually they're about 3 miles apart when you consider the shape of the tree. So yeah, that's where, where do you go after 4? Where do you go after 4? Are we going back? I think most people are going to be going backwards, aren't they?
going backwards at what point?
After 4, I think I think that a lot of people will be looking to not completely backfill, but just 1 or 2 nodes. Maybe they'll go back for the building health if they haven't picked it up already, or possibly the critters.
After you get past the BH, once you get to BH2,
yeah,
I think at that point, then you go back and say, hey, I need to get, maybe the critters and the TD1. Get those 2 things if those are the 2 things you skipped, and then keep moving forward. Because I'm honestly gonna try and go no hero at all until I haven't decided yet which of the 3 at the end, but I'm gonna try and go no hero. You remember that season that Stoneheart came up with that wild hit where he dropped brick at the very he dropped bullet at the very beginning of the deck, and then he let bullet go and he dropped 2 boats of rifles one boat of medics and the rest bombers, and he just let bullet taunt all the way up clear the map, and I replicated that hit, and you could kind of just do it with just bombers with bullet taunting. You could see something like that happen, or Spark with her critters be really good, or you know, just go straight for Kavan. Problem is Kavan starts that dead end node, and so, you know, I heard Pete say, you know, going to Kavan and stopping at Kavan, unlocking Kavan, getting access to Fancy Pants, and then go back up and finish the tree, and then you're just that much closer to HC once you're 7. You know, so you're not all the way there, but you're almost halfway there, you know, once you get Kavan. So,
yeah, I mean, there's going to become a point in the season when heavy choppers become that would be my plan on one account. Yep, says Pete. There becomes a point in the season when heavy choppers will become non-optional. And I suppose, you know, the closer you are to them, whether that's a Kavan or even the GBE, the easier that they are going to be to get. I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to get smashed by people who have brick, and I'm going to have to go back and get her, says Fezman. My plan is to try and go as far as I can without brick, try and grab Kavan, like Pete said.
Yeah, I think, you know, it depends. You either need the boost nodes, and you either need like TD and TH, or you need brick. If you're getting TD and TH, and maybe even the critters and the shock bomb, you can probably do without, you know, Kavan. I mean, not Kavan, brick. But if you don't have those boost nodes, then maybe it is brick. Brick's just a lot. I mean, 42 keys at the beginning.
Can I just give a huge shout out to Axe Derby, who's just tipped £5. Thank you very much, Axe. Really much appreciated. Get those axe. Have I done? I don't know if I've got an axe command. Need to get an axe command. I started off getting loads of commands on here, and then I stopped with commands. Well, yeah. Life got in the way, as life has a habit of doing. From time to time.
You gotta start being positive, man. If you're negative all the time, that negative energy is just gonna keep you down, brother. You gotta keep a positive attitude about things. And, you know, everybody's starting at the same thing. Martin's starting at like rank 10 this season.
Yeah, I'm starting for the first time in nearly 50 seasons. I didn't make diamond
There's tons of guys, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's tons of guys. Stoneheart used to start one account at rank 1 every season for the collective to help people with hits. And his rank 1 account would be like global top 5 after the first like hour and a half. So it doesn't really matter where you start. It's just about picking the right path. And if that means you wait 10 minutes, then do it. You know?
I think that gold is achievable on day 2. Just hold out for bombers. I mean, it might not be the traditional day 1 where you jump on and play, you know, 120, 130 battles and kind of establish yourself in rank 17, 18, wherever that may be. Yes, there will be a group of players who make all of the right decisions, and they will push on beyond 18. You know, you might even see 1 or 2 make diamond on the first day if they get a lucky break. But I do think that once you've hit bombers, you're going to be into gold, and then you're kind of into phase 2 of the decision making process. We got a Flint sighting, there it is. Flint, Michigan. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Much appreciated. Pete saying like 3 feet days going that route gives you a huge advantage. Day 1 over the bomber, day 2 players. Raz in there as well. Frank Dahl, Martin Staggs in rank 10, but the upside is he's definitely not 50 years old yet. Not yet, not quite. Another 360 something to go. yeah, so I'm just trying to make sense of what Pete was saying there. Like 3 feet days, going that route gives you a huge advantage day 1 over the bomber day 2 players. You mean going brick on day 1? Yeah, brick. I mean, brick is going to be huge standout on day 1, and those with brick are going to fly. But at what cost?
But it depends, though. Yeah, because the thing is like, say I'm running rifle Zuka and I'm running into the dirtiest bases, you know, mines, mortars, machine guns, flames, cannons, boom cannons. Brick's not helping me in that case, you know, like it's just rough in general. But if somebody has brick and I'm facing their base and all they have is mortars, cannons, and sniper towers and a SEMO, like, I'm cruising through that base. I might go all Zukas, you know, just free clear it, or all rifles and rifle rush it. So there's a hindrance to brick. If you get brick, you're missing a lot of D. So you better be 100% positive that you can clear everything with brick before you get brick.
Yeah, I mean, she's 60 keys behind the boom mines, and then she's kind of almost forcing you around the rest of that loop because you're only, you know, you're tantalizing close to the TD. The med kits almost become a key vacuum compared with the proto, the TD, and the critters. She's a tempter down there that I wonder how many people will get drawn in. First hours of the season is where Brick's power lies. So yeah, I mean, the comment that you made right at the top of this stream, Jess, I think is quite poignant. With the chests starting off 4 of 6, we are quite easy, you know, we can quite simply sit there now and watch people faceplant in that first hour and suss out what's good and what's not good, and then kind of make your move from there a little bit, knowing that you've got, well, effectively 16 hours before your keys max out. We got a Grens 101 sighting in the chat. What's up, Fritzelli? Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I think that's, you know, there's something huge to be said about the ability to be able to do that, and fair play to those of you streamers who are going to throw yourself on the sword for the good of the community at the start of the season. You basically have to make brick work to the point where you collect all 4 free chests in gold. If you can make that work, you'd be good for the season because you'd move forward with brick. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say that, you know, you might see 1 or 2 players who just manage to sneak up through, you know, through gold into diamond, having made the right decision with brick and a bit of luck with matchmaking and stuff, you know, hit 16, 17, 18, start snowballing 19, 20, 21. It might happen. McLovin's sighting in the chat as well. How you doing, my friend? It's a huge gamble though, also good play for those that finish in leg 2 though. Yeah. I think if you've got a golden start, can you get bombers day 1? Is that an option?
Bombers with your straight off the start. If you skip BH and everything else and go straight 4, you can get bombers with your 4 or 6 chests if you finished in leg 2.
Right.
If you get BH and mines, then you would get them with your first time chest, I believe. But I think that, you know, I think you need a bunch of the good stuff in 3ER, but just remember you're on a clock, because all those people that don't get any of the good stuff in 3ER, they've gone 4 and they're patiently waiting for bombers. So you're on a clock. So you need to get what you need, and you need to get to pushing. You need to move up as quickly as possible because you're on a clock for those people that will get, like, say they get bombers, you know, Monday night or Tuesday morning. You're on a clock to get as far as you can before they get bombers.
Absolutely. Axe there just saying, like Jess's idea of getting to shocks and then deciding Rifleman Zuka may work till rockets are out. Yeah, you know, if that's an option, I mean, Rifleman Zuka would probably be better than quicker than Gramps, although Gramps will be packing that TD2.
I think with the BH and the DVD out early, it's going to be I think a lot of people were expecting a base race, and I just don't think it will be that.
Bombers can only Hail Mary if you've been and picked up the flare, though. And if you're going Rifle Zuka, the flare's 38 keys out the way, so...
Falcor, Phil, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, Falcor?
Mike Wells.
Yeah, and Mike in there as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Gramps, you know, they do have that advantage of the Hail Mary, and, you know, that's certainly something that we've seen you take advantage of, sacrificing Gramps to the gods. But that's going to mean getting that flare as well. And I know there's a few people talking about not getting the flare. Oh yeah, you'll want flare. Any bomber player without flare loses to flare bomber players. Yeah, all the time. Which will also give you the heavies, which at the end of the day, we're all going to need heavies, aren't we? Because we're all going to end up with the big yellow bus at some point in time. Some sooner than others. I'm thinking about rushing the heavy bus on one of my accounts. Just because it will be a simple fact of like collecting for about a week. I think we worked it out, didn't we? It's about a week of collecting in gold to rush to the heavy bus. Have you looked at that yet or not? So yeah, I'm considering that with one account, just to try and get to the bus first. I think if the bus will be great if there is a fizzle meta. If it turns into a week isn't a rush. Bus will be great if it turns into a fizzle meta there at 5 and 6 ER. Then bus is going to give you the guaranteed win, isn't it? But it's another gamble, a bit like kind of gambling on brick on day one. But that's a horrible long node that the bus is down. So, and then obviously after 5, after 5, where are we?
Can you hear me, or is it? I couldn't tell if I was interrupting you or not.
No, you're back now. That's right.
Oh no, I was just saying if you go heavy chopper though, you could get left behind, and so you could possibly end up in a different meta.
Yeah. I mean, it is a gamble, but it's one that I might take on one of my alt accounts, because literally for the first week you're not going to be moving forward. Let's face it, you're just going to be kind of, you know, chasing the chopper. But yeah, so after I need to just move that slightly. There we go. So after we kind of got through 4 into 5, we've got this weird, I've chopped the loop in half here. We've got this weird kind of, you can go 5 and push on to 6 with this tech, with this tech here, or you can come back from 5 and do this loop. I see that being all right for Seeker players if you're a Seeker Pro, but if you're not, I don't see much point in doing that loop. Possibly grab grab bullet. If you haven't grabbed brick, you can go and grab bullet, but I think going this path and pushing on towards 6 makes more sense, would you say?
I think moving forward as quickly as possible while getting as much effective tech as possible will be the key. Like getting the RLs and shock launchers, but then getting the heck out of dodge as soon as you get, you know, those rocket launchers, shock launchers, then you're moving forward, you know, not staying around hanging out.
Doom's just saying, I think I'm a bit behind, but why are you going through tanks instead of warriors? Yeah, you are a little bit behind.
Warriors, but a lot of people will go through tanks.
Yeah, it wasn't. We're saying, you know, I mean, the one thing I think that Jess and I have agreed on is that we really can't advocate anything on this stream. That there is no right path. There's no definitive jump out path. What's good on day one is going to be weak on day two. What's good on day two isn't necessarily going to be great on day one. There's just no right or wrong way to tackle this. Honestly, we may find, because of the DVD, that Mech Bomber is much better than HC Bomber. Well, that was something else that I was pointing towards the other day, or yesterday when we were talking about this, is with that mech there, and the ability that it has to stun, and potentially how many extra nodes you're gonna, extra defenses you're gonna have on deck. Because at this point there's two there you're definitely going to have picked up. There's another two, multi-node 6 is another two that you'll have picked up, potentially multi-node 5 as well if you chase the rocket launchers. So yeah, that stunning ability of the mech could be quite useful before you jump into 6. Then I would imagine that everyone will pick up critter launchers because of how irritating they can be. And then it'll be the race on to 7. I can see people kind of getting to the end of the tree quite early this season, almost by the end of
almost, or not a week and a half, but a week and a few days.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, by the end of the second week, I can see a lot of people finishing the tree, and then it's a question of like, well, where do we, where do we go back to? Do we chase down the 250 keys to heavy choppers, or do we invest those 250 keys in the myriad of other defensive nodes that we've got available to us? Critter launchers are going to be huge pain in the butt this season, but my money's on Laser Lady finish. Yeah, of course, the Laser Lady's there just after 7 ER, just before the Sky Shield, and I mean, I didn't play 7, I didn't even play 6 ER last season. HCs will be best for the Laser Ladies.
Just be careful with the BH, because when you start going above 100 BH, normally nothing but bombers works.
Yeah, I think the Laser Ladies will be interesting. I would imagine that the end meta is going to be yeah, Hope and Glory. We just watch the language. I don't know why it's come up like that. I don't know what you said. I've not got a warning. Bomber's going to be slowed by critter launchers. Yeah, it's probably going to be a combination of the both, isn't it? Heavy chopper bomber, Laser Ladies. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago we were doing like two boats of lasers and bombers and heavy choppers? It's going to be that sort of, the lasers just picking off getting the critters out of the equation.
All I was trying to say is, like, they've nerfed lasers, and every season since they've nerfed lasers, we've had significantly more TD than we've had BH, which has made them viable. But when you start dealing with 200 BH, which is going to be weighted a lot more than the TD, than the 200 TD, like, you can tell the 200 BH a lot easier than you can tell 200 TD. So when you weight it that way, with all the buildings and all the mines, like lasers, yeah, maybe you load 3 heavy choppers, 2 lasers, 3 bombers, but lasers by themselves they just won't be viable, And with the 200 GBE, we can just bark whatever gets in the way.
Hashtag fix the lasers. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing as well, is you've got your the barrage is certainly... Oh, where is the barrage? Barrage is up that end, isn't it? So barrage is up in that 5 ER loop. and then artillery's at the end of a dead end node. I think it's just going to be.
I don't think people realize it because so it's 7 ER with 200 BH. How much it cost this past season to BART an ER, which is like what, 4 barrage, 7 artillery at 7 ER?
Oh yeah,
it's going to cost that much to BART a Sky Shield this season.
Yeah, or critter launchers, or I mean anything really, isn't it? It's
like 300. It's 296 GBE to BART an ER this season at 7 ER.
Is that what it works out at?
Yeah, 296. Whereas like a Sky Shield's the 4.7, but still, it's just so much.
Yeah. Yeah, no BART job Sally this season, absolutely. Duma made a comment just up in the chat there. I think it'll be bombers because the deck layout at 7 is good for split hits. And it, it's just a question. It really will then just be a question of how do we manage the critters, because they have a tendency, like Pete said, to slow the bombers right down. But once you BART one out, maybe lasers on another one.
You remember the season a few seasons ago where they had the season where everybody got the extra boom mines?
Yeah.
The 10 extra boom mines. That 7 ER deck is basically this 7 ER deck where you're going to be dropping 2 heavy choppers and two heavy choppers on the left side, 2 heavy choppers on the right side, bombers all the way around, and then like Kavan with another boat of bombers on the far right or something like that. It'll end up being something like that.
Yeah.
The tank man has arrived. What's up, Dyson?
What's up, Dyson? How you doing? Commander Doom, probably going to be the first season I max RLs early. Not much use in saving for barrage. No, that's true. By the way, can you send me invitations to your Telegram room? Yeah, no worries. I'll hook you.
He's talking about the collective.
Okay.
When we merged back into one group, he never came back over when we sent the invite out to merge back as one group. I will definitely do that, Dyson.
Sort that out. Straight to mechs for Dyson. Via the tanks, of course. You going bricks and tanks this season, Dyson? Bit of speedy tank action. That might be something that some people try. Speedy tanks, but again, it's going to stop you. It's going to slow down the. Slow down access to the machine guns and flamethrowers. So yeah, I mean that I like to say I think it's going to be an absolute blast to the end of the tree, and then it's going to be a question of like figuring out what the priorities are to backfill. Pete saying got to run, guys. Thanks for the breakdown. No worries, mate. We will catch you on day 1 of the season, I dare say. Good luck, everyone. Good luck to you as well, my friend. Who was it? I think Red Dog. Here it is. This was a comment I wanted to pick up on. Red Dog Boom. Just collect 4 chests in 2 ER and then sit back for 2 days and wait for the smoke to clear. Then push a 6. Then do a 6 for 6 push. Do you know what? That's probably not a bad tactic. If you think about it, because by then you're going to know what the best path is. You're not going to be at the cutting edge, you're not going to be top 50, but that's probably not a bad tactic for sort of trying to break the top 500, because you're going to unlock the things that are needed rather than sort of trying to guess at what's going to be needed. And would you say?
Yeah, but as content creators, we don't really have that luxury. We have to kind of move the meta. Yeah. But yeah, for other people, I mean, if you want to hang out at 2 or 3 or, though I try to get away from telling people to do that, because a lot of people, especially on the Boom Beach Discord, take it very literally and will like hoard until they have like 300 keys before going to the next TR and stuff like that. So I just try to avoid ever telling somebody to just hang out somewhere. But in this instance, yes, this very specific instance, yes. But for the most part, probably not.
I mean, I think that that's what I'm not doing that, but I think my opening is going to be done at 2ER. I think with starting at rank 10 as I will be this season, I'm going to open rifles and Zukas, shock mines, get the flare, the builder, but basically everything in 2ER, and everything. Well, probably not the flare or heavies, just that top half. So yeah, rifle, Zukas, building health, and try and get all 4 chests in iron, and then see where the land lies. So have a look at the, who's streets, have a look at the streaming, sort of jump into the collective, have a look at what's going on there, and sugar ship and the various warships task force. Have a chat around and see what's going on, see what seems to be the best meta, and then from there I can kind of make my decisions. I feel like we've already said, I feel that Brick will probably dominate day one, but she is going to slow people down, and you're going to pay the price of it in the long run. So yeah, that's sort of pretty much the tree broken down into its various chunks. Anyone in the chat got any specific questions? Anything they want answered? Or at least anything that we can answer. I think a lot of the questions this season are up for grabs, aren't they? With regard to opening path and opening day tech.
So many options. It's kind of play to your strength, type of thing.
So what tick on defences? I always try and go tick 4 minimum at the start, because that puts the maximum amount of towers on deck that you can have. With the exception of boom cannons, I think you only need tick 3 on those. But certainly for cannons, mortars, sniper towers, machine guns, flamethrowers, tick 4 will give you the maximum amount of buildings that you can have on deck. But then it depends on what you're up against. If it's going to be more rifles and Zukas, you kind of want your machine guns, flamethrowers and mortars maxed. If it's going to be more heavies, then you're going to want your cannons, boom cannons and sniper towers up there. So you kind of have to see. But yeah, I think if you can afford to do tick 4 minimum, then that's where I'd be. Only me in the chat. Who's this guy? Oh, it's Martin. How the devil are you? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just sort of shoot the breeze with you guys about this tree and this monstrosity of a tree and how we're going to tackle it. What hero are you going for? I'd like to say that.
Wait.
Yeah, can I abstain? I'd like to say I'm going to try and follow Jess's path and not pick up a hero until Sparky, but I've got a feeling that Bullet might be too alluring at 5ER. I may get Brick on one account. I think one account I'm going to. Well, no, I will be getting Brick on Donkey, because Donkey will sit at 3ER, which is going to be an absolute bun fight with all of that going on. So Donkey will eventually need to pick up Brick just to stay in gold at 3ER. The other two, I'm going to send one down the rabbit hole for heavy choppers, and I'm going to push with the other one. So it may be a question of picking up Bullet at 5ER. It may be a question of hanging on until Sparky at 6. I'll let you know a week. That'll probably be week 2, won't it? This sort of time next week, I would imagine we'll be in that position to know where we are with Sparky. Although if people start making diamond with her tomorrow, I might just grab Brick. So We'll see. I think Kevin will be the better call. I think, yeah, you're absolutely spot on. This season, Kevin will be the hero because the end meta is going to be heavy choppers with diddles and possibly a boat of lasers thrown in there. And the best hero with that combination is Kavan. Unless you're I don't even think the Seeker gods are going to be able to manage Seekers this season, are they?
No, I don't think I don't think anything but bombers is gonna do. I mean, because you have 2 BHs right off the bat. I mean, we're gonna be 100 BH at 4 ER and 100 DBD.
Yeah.
Shock mines early, shock launchers early. It's gonna be rough sledding. I think some people will get through, but I think there might be like a 2-day window with them, but then after that, it's just gonna slam shut.
Falcor, if you had to bet an amount of dollar that matters to you on the fastest path to Diamond, what would it be?
I could tell you right now, but I'd rather tell you off stream. Yeah. Depends on if me and Martin are going halvesies or not.
Is there 2 CL nodes in 7ER? There is 2 CL nodes in 7ER. Let me just what do I want? I want this one. So these 2 just here are identical nodes. They are 1 rocket launcher, 1 critter launcher, 1 shock launcher for 38 keys. Normally you'd expect one of those to be a mine node, but with the amount of mines on multi-node 8 and multi-node, the other one, wherever that is, those 2 are... So yeah, potentially you could see 6 rocket launchers on deck, you could see 5 critter launchers on deck, or you could see 4 shock launchers on deck. Groove just asking, did the stream break? No? Can everyone out there in Chatland still see me? Hear me? It's weird. I don't know why Groove's... message is still coming through. Messaging back. Nope, still going. Yeah, so that's that top end node there, or those 2 top end nodes tucked behind troop damage 4 and troop health 4. What a little way off yet. 5 CLs, I'm almost happy. I don't know whether CLs are going to be Java crashed or something, I expect. I'm back, says Groove. Yeah, I don't know whether 5 CLs will be that devastating. There is a...
I think RLs might be worse because you can hypothetically bar the critter launchers, and they nerf the critter launchers so much that they're not really... I mean... Unless you got a grappler involved.
I mean, there is a grappler on the tree somewhere. What it's paired with, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like grappler DC or something.
Yes, that's actually that's an annoying one because it's a grappler 2, a DA2, and a DC2, and there is only 1 grappler, 1 DA, and 1 DC on the tree. That multi-node, that proto-node actually could prove to be quite critical.
Think about it with 4 shock launchers, 2 shock launchers, 6 RLs, or 4 RLs and 4 shock launchers with the critter launchers like a compact or something with the damage amp. It could get pretty dirty.
Yeah, but then having 4 shock launchers is also going to be really tempting with that amount of with that amount of defense on the deck. I mean, multi-node, so it's potentially 2, 4, those are mines, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Those are mines. You're looking at potentially 12 extra tower defenses without even protos. So having those...
I added it up last night, and broke it down. I'm gonna... Sorry, I was gonna pull it out.
Falcor, just refresh the screen. Falcor saying that his screen's frozen. Can hear you guys, so it's not frozen. I'm just bouncing around. There you go. Look, I kind of, when I leave it on, it's because I haven't got my face cam on and you can't see something constantly moving, but I can sit here and just do this and rock it backwards and forwards.
So I pulled it up. 32 basic defenses, 4 RLs, 6 BCs, 4 shock launchers, 3 critter launchers, a DC, an SB, a sky shield, 2 floaties, 12 boom mines, 10 shock mines, 55 green mines, for a total of 54 defenses, 77 total mines, plus the 70 Rs and 200 BH.
And all of that, I was going to say, and all of that with 200 BH piled on top of it. Abdul Mahim Salama is in the chat as well. What's up, Abdul? Fezman, my problem is there is no way I can get to bombers till the end of the week. I don't... Where do you start, Fez?
I mean, it's like 12 or 13, I think. So it's not like...
No, you should be able to get there by
like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, midweek. I'm expecting to get there about Wednesday. 21.5 is rank 11. Is it 11 or 12? 12, I think.
What'd you say?
21.5 is rank 12, isn't it?
Yeah, because 23 is 13.
2150. So you're going to be starting with 212 keys. I think Fez is exaggerated. Yeah, I think you should be able to get there. Bet Martin is naked, hence no face cam. Oh, how do you know these things? I hate math, Andrew. That's why I made the calculator, to make the maths easy for you. I'm just... Actually, I'm just doing this for Fez, just to see. So you're going to go... That's the only thing with this calculator, is it's just huge. The drop down, you can't see the drop down menu, but it's just huge because there's so much extra stuff on it. Exaggerates his impending doom. So Zuka, shock mine. Zuka, Zuka, shock mines. 3 ER. What's after 3 ER? Med kit, isn't it? Med kit. Then it's DBD1. And then if you took the cheapest path, you're looking at machine guns, warriors, flamethrowers, boom, oops, boom cannons, 4ER. Have I missed something out there? Warriors, flamethrowers, boom cannons, no, 4ER, TD2, and then bombardiers. Right, so that's how long it would cost you. You get your, let's just say you did it all in iron. For the sake of argument, that you collected all in iron, Zion, Lion. So Monday, that'll be Monday evening, early Tuesday morning, Tuesday night. So if you took that path, Fez, you would have your bombardiers on Tuesday breakfast chest.
Which was about 5 days earlier than he said.
Yeah, it might be tough running, and you may only collect your chests in iron, but you get the bombers. No, there's no BH in that. I mean, like I said,
you would rank up with bombers, and then you'd go back and get your BH, get your mines, get your all that stuff as you rank up with the bombers.
You could throw BH in there, and then you'd have it Tuesday evening. So it depends on when you have time to play. Most of my play time is in the evening. So yeah, that was probably the path that I would take, would be to throw BH in there, and then Tuesday evening with my evening chest I could open up the bombers, and then have a good old session Tuesday night chasing the bombers, which is going to push me from, I would imagine, from rank 12 probably to rank 15 at that stage, allowing first natural star inflation. You probably get to rank 15. That then in turn would give you 3 rank chests, which would be another 54 keys, which would be able to kind of either send, put you back and get some critters, get some troop health. That might be enough for gold, or push you on to the shock bomb and whatever else is there. Just looking at the tree up here. Shock bomb and the BH2 then, which might be enough for gold. So yeah, I think gold by the end of day 2 is plausible in that respect. Naked Martin with drill in hand. How do we get to me being naked with my drill in my hand? Even before the weekend, it'll be on shortly. Hey, Pollington. Sun's just rising in Oz. So yeah, we shall await the arrival of Sir Pollington and his wise words of wisdom. It's easy for me to say, isn't it? Yeah, he'll be along shortly with his take on the tree. I think Polly's starting down with me. I think he's starting at in Stone as well. So yeah, we've got a challenge ahead of us, but I think, yeah, I think this is almost the path that I'm going to be taking. I mean, if you threw troop health into that as well, TD is 24, so that's still only one more iron chest. So you'd need to rank up to 30 with that tech. You'd need to rank up to 13, and you'd still have your bombers on Tuesday night. Rank 7. You're starting at 7. Oh my days, Polly. You're going to have a whale of a time. All those rank chests. Bombers was in the dark last season, but this is what, yeah, but isn't that where he belongs? Isn't that what the season should be about, or the seasons should be about? Abdul Mahim, that what was good this season won't be next season, and what was good, it's been a while since bombers have really stood out, probably since the introduction of laser ladies, to be fair. So it's it's nice to have a bombers. It's nice to have a season with all these statues. I I just really like this concept of same chest reward values, but just a fatter tree. I'd also like to see them do this, but introduce a few other things in there. So, you know, for example, melon bombers instead of bombers. Maybe a critter tank in place of the critters, or maybe in place of the tanks. You know, those sorts of things. Introduce a few, you know, potentially a few of the proto GBAs, whether that be 100% on melon bombers. Everyone loves a melon bomber. You know, whether that be crystal critters or super warriors in there, some rifle zombies, or some something along those sorts of lines. I think that would be cool. It's funny actually. I've designed a tree that I've put to Supercell. I'm waiting for feedback on at some point. But it's kind of similar to this. It's got a lot of dead end nodes, but I've introduced a lot of other stuff into it, and it's given me an idea now that I might go back and design a 4-week tree with the 15 extra nodes on, because I think that works. I just love the concept of it. Just waiting on Polly. He's going to be along shortly, I would have thought. Anyone out there who doesn't normally comment and chat, have you got any lurkers got any questions? I hate that term. I think it's so derogatory, lurkers. But yeah, people that don't normally kind of chat on stream and join in with the banter. Have you got anyone out there got any questions?
Do this all the time in the collective. I feel like I'm constantly asking people if they have any questions, just continuously, because people have questions and they just don't feel like saying them out loud in front of group. But you know, there is no dumb question, because none of us know what's gonna work. You know,
definitely this season. Quick shout out to Johnny Das. We're wrecking the chat. How you doing? Andrew's a lurker. Cookie dinner. What do you think about warrior, critters, and shock rush? Warriors. The trouble is, you haven't got shocks until after 4. I don't think warriors are going to work at all this season.
I don't even think heavies will work by themselves.
I think that warriors are set to fail miserably. I think heavies will need brick battle orders to work, and flare obviously, but yeah, without the smoke as well. Martin finally got his Lego Titanic. I did. Look, here she is. My Lego Titanic. I should go that way, really. My little Lego Titanic. That was my little birthday gift. Because I was still waiting for the big one. But yes, no, the big one did arrive, Fez. It sat down here on the floor, awaiting my construction of it. Back to that one. So Blas, it was supposed to, but right at the last minute the price just exploded, so I couldn't afford to, is the answer to your question. Mr. Poing, I don't know. I'm still looking for it, is the answer to your question. So where's the drill? The drill's in the cupboard. That's sat behind the Titanic at the moment, so I'd have to move the Titanic out of the way to get to the drill. But rest assured, it's in there. When we go back on cam, I just got the Rivendell, so oh, nice. How go Titan sub to go with it? Yeah, that's a poor taste in our house at the moment. Anyway, back to the tree. Somebody asked a tree relevant question. Johnny, what's my path? So last season I didn't fit. Where did I finish? I finished 19 and 11 stars, so I'm starting at 10. So I think what I'm going to do this season will be to go rifle Zuka, mines, shock mines, multi-node, building health, and then collect my 4 chests, hopefully in iron, at 2 ER, and then I shall kind of just have a look and see what's going on once the dust has settled from the first, the opening hour. See how the dust settles, and then really make a decision from there. I think probably end up being medkits, DBD, machine guns, tanks or warriors, flamethrowers, boom cannons, potentially troop health, and then 4. I think I'm going heavy rushing with brick, says Johnny. Well, fair play. I think that's the only viable way to make heavy rushing work, because obviously you're not going to have any TH, are you? If you're going brick, you're not going to have any TH, but it's you're potentially leaving your base quite susceptible to people like me who are going heavy Zuka, because you're not going to have machine guns, flamethrowers. You're going to be sacrificing the damage. So, it's what's made this season. I think one of the things that's made this season, even out of the gate, there is 4, 5, maybe even 6 viable paths, and who knows, brick and heavy rushing, potentially it can take you 17, 18, 19, 20. And if it does, those rank chests gives you the extra defense. It puts you 21 before you know it. I'm not sure that there is. I know Jess was mucking around, and I don't know that there is a guaranteed path to diamond. Maybe bombers. I mean, day 1 bombers possibly, if you can get to them, but then you need a gold start really to make that happen. Mac 10 asking Jess, which direction are you thinking for your mini account? You had any thoughts on that, Jess?
Yeah, I do actually. It's going to be different from my main account. My mini account's going straight to 4. Mini account's going straight to 4, and it's just collecting chests until bombers.
Fair enough.
My main is staying in 3.
Are you gonna dirty right up in 3 then, are you?
I'm gonna try and balance it out. I'm gonna get just what I need to keep moving forward, to keep clearing, and then go to 4 as quickly as possible.
That's the thing that worries me a little bit, is that in 3 there isn't that much. If you balance offensive versus defensive in 3, there's not that much offensive. There's no assistance from the gunboat really in 3. Yeah, you've got TD, but you've also got BH. You by the end of 3, if you max out 3 ER, you're at 50-50 with your statues. You've got all 3 mines in there. You've got all of the short range defenses and boom cannons. I think that 3 ER is kind of more loaded towards defensive gameplay than offensive. I think a max 3 will probably end up playing with sort of some kind of tank Zuka critter combination. Falcor saying heavy rush versus defences and shock mines. Fizzle, Johnny, fizzle. Johnny comes back with Falcor. Fizzling is good for your health. Yeah, that Proto's not really much help in 3ER, is it? Simo, Flotty and a BS. A boom surprise. And the Flotty will, the Flotty will probably be the one that you go to there. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it'll be the one that you go to there just for its ability to take out Zookas. But yeah, troop health I think will be quite key as well, especially with all that D around. Critters needed for heavy rush. What, for mine clearance you mean? I think heavy rushing is going to be quite tough. Tell you what we haven't talked about is decks.
Who mentioned heavy rush?
Johnny Das Rex says he's going to go heavy rushing with brick, which probably means he's going to join the rest of us with heavy Zuka or rifle Zuka. But
yeah, heavy rushing just isn't going to be viable.
I don't think heavy rush. I mean, that's no. So that's 2ER. That's why I'm going. I think I'm going to collect in 2ER because it's drop 2-2 one side, drop 2 and 2 the other, and just let them clear. Abdul Mahim says he's going tanks. I think tanks are probably more. I think tanks will have more use than the warriors. I know they're 4 keys more, but I think there's potential for them. There is a potential for them. I'm thinking about it, but not sure. So yeah, that's 2. So yeah, 3ER, heavy rushing on a 3ER. My guess is it's going to be kind of just defences all round the hull with 3ERs sort of spread across the back there, which I suppose in one respect, if you can get your heavies up to the first ER, they're going to be relatively unscathed as they progress across the back on a rush. It's going to be a question of getting them there.
Well, not just that. You got to think about it. I mean, if one mine kills all the Zookas, so I mean, and boom cannons and cannons one-shot heavies, and there's 7 cannons and 4 boom cannons, not counting the machine guns and the flamethrowers, or the sniper towers, or the mortars. It's gonna be.
I don't think that heavy rushing is a viable meta early doors. Not even with brick, because even with brick, you're not going to have the troop health, and I think that you're going to need the troop health in order to make it viable. But by the time you get both, but bases are going to be so well defended, people are going to have all the D plus 50% DBD, that it's still not going to be viable. So rifle Zuka for me, and then rifle bomber, then mech bomber, then scorcher bomber. No, Todd, I think Todd is absolutely spot on. I think that'll be that'll kind of be the size of it. At some point in time, you're going to duck down that rabbit hole and pick up Kavan and the heavy boss. Falcor saying I'm heading straight to Kavan, Scorcher and Cryo. Heavy Kavan, Kavan, Scorcher and Cryo. That's an interesting combination. One might almost think that you're having a bit of a laugh. Cryos are on the path this season, aren't they? So yeah, 3ER, not sure about that. 4 decks, interesting. Uh, I feel like with all these defences, cryos will be used. Yeah, do you know what? Potentially a boat of cryos on board might not hurt.
I don't know that I've ever used cryos ever. Like main game or warships. Like I don't know that I've ever used them. Ever.
So right back season, what, 3 or 4, there was a cheese meta, wasn't there? Cryos Heavy Zukas was a meta. That was before bombers or seekers or the old cheese meta. Andrew's thinking the same as Todd. RZCM, yeah, the old RZ Rifle Zuka Cryo Medics. Whatever happened to that? Used to be a boss, not cheese again, says only me. So yeah, 4ER is going to be interesting. I think there's an interesting deck layout with that ramp up the back. Almost sort of 3 or 4 entry points to the deck on this one. Oh, come on. 5ER, the same again, just closing down the deck now. My mini is going Grens, staying in 2ER for a day or two with some popcorn. Nice.
Who was that?
Todd says his mini's going to going Grens, staying in 2ER for a day or two with some popcorn. Blastalazzo, I'm going Grens and brick battle orders to annoy everyone else. Then you don't want battle orders, you want Iron Will. Iron Will's
yeah, one mortar will wipe out like a quarter of your grins, and then everybody will have spread bases. So the cannons, the boom cannons, the sniper towers, they will wipe out the grins.
So
you'll be greedy no more.
Your tactic of annoying everybody else will work, but tactic of winning maybe not so much. Abdul Mahim says he's going to be bus rushing at 4ERs. Ben Vernon says, "What's up, my fellow Welshman?" I'm not Welsh. You talking to Groove? Nope, it hurts more when you lose on time to Grens. Is it possible to lose on time to Grens? What are you using to lose on time to Grens? Is Sloth a troop now, is it? So yeah, that's 5ER. 6ER. I like 6ER. 6ER is really interesting. Tanks are faster than Grens. I think 6ER is really, really interesting. I love the look of 6ER, especially when you consider what tech we're going to have at 6ER. 7 is... Oh, 7's a little bit boring, to be honest. It's almost the sort of full deck, full ramps again, isn't it? Almost, but not quite. Anyone going to take the corner for the Seekers? I think I don't think Seekers are worth getting. I think maybe max 6 better than 7 this season. Yeah, possibly. But I think with being the 4-week season that everyone's going to end up 7. Abdul Mahim, I don't think Seekers are going to be viable this season, but there is tech in that loop that it certainly will be required. The shock launchers and rocket launchers for one, and the Proto Node 3, I think it is, which is the damage amp, the grappler, and damage amp, grappler, and doom cannon up in that corner, as well as barrage. So There's some good stuff up there. 3 feet, no BH in 7. No, not this time. All the nodes, I think the only... So you've got troop damage, troop health, and DVD in 7. All the building health is acquired before 7 ER this season. And Vernon, 4-week season. Yep, 4-week season with 3-week chest reward values to accommodate the 15 extra nodes that we see on deck. Ironically, those 15 extra nodes, only half of them will need upgrading. So come the end of the the end of the season, this is something that I've only kind of just going through my head now. If you're going to be picking up all of those extra nodes come the end of the season, we're not going to be token shy at all, are we? Because half of the extra nodes that they've put on the tree don't require upgrading in terms of multi-nodes. It's only the extra stat nodes that are going to need upgrading. 6 decks similar to 7, but 7 gets 2 extra rocket launchers, crit launchers or shock launchers. Yep. I think they should have a season and call it show and everyone gets a random tree generator. Everyone gets a different tree. Shock launchers next to Seekers, and 2 multi-nodes will allow for bases with 5 shock launchers or critter launchers, says Polecat. Yeah, there's some interesting combos up there, but I just don't see Seekers working. By the time you get Seekers, most people are going to have 100 BH, they're going to have 100 DVD. I think the Seekers will only be packing 50 TD, potentially 50 troop health. So I do not think it's going to be the season of the Seeker this season. Let's go back to the tech tree and see what I mean. And then tech tree unlock. Why is that not moving? Okay. And there. For some reason. Odd. Right, the tech for some reason it's not picking this up. Got that as Excel. Let's blank that one off and put that one up. See if that works better. We've got... Right. We got Polly in the chat. That's that. Right, now I've got to get this.
Sorry, I took a break
There
for a
we
second.
go.
I was trying to order some food.
Some food.
Yeah.
He's a bit peckish. Right, that's better. That should have that a bit more. Okay, one more. One more. There we go. Right, let's lock that out. Yeah, I've seen Polly has arrived. He's on mute at the moment, so I dare say he's just prepping himself, getting his vocal cords in working order, or maybe just looking at the tree for the first time. Right, okay. Lots of multi-node swapping. Excellent gem season. I don't know whether it will be so much because there is so many multi-nodes. I'm not sure whether. Get rid of that. So yeah, obviously that first one up here. Grab me crayons. So yeah, the first one up here, which is 2 cannons, 2 mortars, 2 sniper towers. I would imagine that most of the switching, any switching there will be between the 2 cannons and 2 mortars. The next one in here probably end up being 2 flamethrowers, I would have thought. Although sniper towers again might be useful for picking off bombers. That's it up there. Then over here, 2 mortars, 2 machine guns, 2 cannons. 2 mortars, 2 machine guns, 2 flamethrowers on multi-node 6. Multi-nodes, you've got to imagine that multi-node 7 and multi-node 4, you're probably going to be picking up the boom cannons, would be my guess. But there is 2 cannons and 2 sniper towers on both of those nodes as well, so it might be that you end up getting 2 sniper towers to help deal with the bombers. Again, it depends on what the meta is, but once those heavy busts come on board, then I would imagine they'll be switching those to the boom cannons, which then really only leaves it leaves this one here, this one here. That's mines. Proto. Yeah, so it only really leaves a 4 to choose from. And then that will depend on.
You done talking now, or
here he is. Jeez. Here he is. Right. I was filling.
Just waffling along.
They call it filling.
I was waiting for a bit of an intermission, but you just kept on waffling on.
How are you, mate? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, good. I wasn't warming up the vocal cords. I was actually I was trying to find something. So I just want to play something quickly, just to make sure. I think you can hear it. I think you'll be able to hear it. So make sure you have my vocals all the way turned up. I'm not going to be speaking. Okay, I've just got something to play. It's about a 10-second clip. Okay. Pretty sure you can hear it. Right, did you hear that?
It was very very pulsy. I'm guessing
well,
it was.
I was just listening to the "Come on, Aussie, come on."
I was going to say, I'm guessing it's kind of cricket related, and Aussie winning the first test and all of that. Yeah. So I haven't had a chance. I haven't told him or anything.
I think So before we go into warships, I think you deserve to tell the people, to enlighten the people about our bet.
Okay, so for those of you what are in the chat from the subcontinent or Australia or England,
these Americans are going to be like, what the hell is cricket?
We've got a sports series on at the moment in the cricket. It's the Ashes, England versus Australia. For you Americans, it's sort of kind of what?
It's like baseball.
Yeah,
it's like baseball, but better.
Baseball with cucumber sandwiches, basically.
Yeah. And a lot of zinc.
Yeah, Polly and I have got a bit of a bet on. So we've got each the competition is made up of 5 separate matches. So we've kind of got a bet rolling for each We've got a bet rolling for each match, but whoever wins the series at the end of the series, if Australia win it, Polly's going to pay me out double on the bet. But if Australia win it, I have agreed. God.
Oh, this is going to be great.
I have agreed, in my infinite wisdom, like I do, to do the following season in a kangaroo outfit. Dressed as an Australian kangaroo.
Every stream he does for a whole season will be dressed as a kangaroo.
Yeah, so you guys kind of mostly, I suppose, now are going to be backing the Aussies, just in order to see me in a kangaroo outfit, I dare say. Polecat, bare cans to catch, and the throwing with no bent elbows is really tricky for us Americans. Was taught the game by a couple of Aussies.
So yeah, no, that's the.
So yeah, potentially around. How about a wallaby outfit? I'm not sure I'd fit into a wallaby outfit. Not just meerkat madness go on. Now, to be honest with you, Mr. Boom, I might just stick a bigger tail on the meerkat outfit.
No. You've showed me already what you're gonna wear. I think actually you already bought it because after the first test. So,
Falcon, I couldn't care less about cricket, but I'm rooting for Australia.
Yeah, see, sucked in, Martin.
Yeah.
So now onto the serious matter at hand. Obviously,
Rick, if England win, then Polly pays me out double on the bet that I've got with him.
So the bet is £20 a match, which turns out to be about 35 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
There's 5 matches, obviously. So the first match Australia has won. All bets are paid at the end of the series. So if it becomes a draw, all bets are void overall. Well, the major bets voided overall, but the the match payments are paid. So, and if Australia win the whole series, whether it be 3-2, whether it be 2-1, because England always likes to have a washout, he dresses up as a kangaroo. He's going to be dressing up as Shane Warne as well. I don't think we can share exactly how he explained himself, how he can share, have Shane Warne, but
not on this channel, he can't.
Yeah. Well, you know what? After listening to some boom tubers and some of the people they have on call, let's just say Shane Warne. If you just want to Google Shane Warne's history, anyone,
yeah.
So
anyone who's unfamiliar.
I thought Jess jumped off because he's like, no, I'm not having it with the cricket convo. But he said that I'll be right back. Complications with the food order.
Can't think of a specifically English outfit. If I had to go a specifically English outfit, Rick, I would go with a Beefeater costume. Zombie Shane Warne, says Mr. Point. Yeah, you know the old Beefeater guards at the Tower of London, or Kingsguard, the Welsh guards with the big busbies on. I think they would probably be as stereotypically British as you can get.
Well, Rick, I'm not the one that's streaming.
But he's not.
I don't plan on being streaming. And I think, and let's be honest, a $10 suit, kangaroo suit, and Martin taking a mickey out of himself is just another day in the office for him. So
let's face it, I just love dressing up.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, I think so does Joe. Let's be honest. So the fact that I'm, willing to double my bet, I think that's a good enough incentive. And let's be honest, Martin said he'll do it for half the bet, but we won't go about that. So, where's the Queen? Yeah, sure, I'll wear the Queen Elizabeth outfit. I just know that we won't lose. So,
So yeah,
But anyway,
that's the bets. Anyway, we a little matter of warships, and
oh yes, there's this.
little matter of
Is
warships.
that what's starting this week?
Little matter of warships and this ridiculously oversized tree that we're all facing. What do you think?
Okay, I've said it on Skull Stream. Now I'm going to say it vocally. I hope Supercell don't fudge this up, because every single season that they've done a major update in the main island, and what are they? It's all about quality of life improvements. That's the way that that it's been brought forward to us by Supercell. Warships has been broken.
Yes.
So I'm very optimistic about the season. It looks good on paper, but just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's going to be good in reality. So good on Supercell though for doing something different. I think it's going to be one of those seasons though that it's really going to be stick to your path and stick to it, because you're going to be committed, and then once you've committed, there's no real going back, and purely because you've already spent those keys and then you've already lost 8 to 16 hours due to picking up those nodes, you may as well keep persevering. No, I hope we do not get 100 keys again, because that is the worst fix ever in the lifetime of Boom Beach. Giving everyone keys to people that didn't even get the bug was completely unrealistic, to be honest.
Holly lost out on that one.
Be fun. Yeah, mate, majorly. Don't give me. I got PTSD about it still.
Still suffering.
Starting at rank 7 is going to be fun. I would hate to be starting at rank 14, 15 and trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to get the gold.
Do you know what?
So yeah, I'm going to leave that up to the pros.
Do you know what I was thinking about? Because I'm starting rank 10 and rank 11 on my two accounts, and actually, McLovin, Jesus, he's still going on about it. Fresh fruit.
Sorry, I just every time I speak to McLovin, GG, stay focused, mate. Okay.
Yeah, I actually think starting 14, 15 is probably a bigger headache than starting where we are this season, to be quite honest.
Oh, 100%.
I think when we're starting like where we are, it's a fairly straightforward path.
Wow.
Hammer says I'm ahead straight for Seekers.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Look, well, there's a lot of good things to that, like to the left of that. You know what I mean? Going up there and getting Seekers, you're probably going to get a lot of wins, to be honest. But once you add the extra BH, going 6 CR as opposed to staying in 5, you probably you'll lose out. And especially there's a lot of DVD on deck as well. I mean, I know the stats. I have seen it a bit. But I honestly haven't looked that far ahead.
I think I'm going to do Rifle Zuka, Shock Mines, Green Mines, Building Health, Multi-Node, collect my 4 chests at 2 ER, and then wait for the dust to settle, see what the other boom tubers are doing, see what Jess is doing, see what the collective's doing, have a word on Sugar Ship, have a chat with Join at Your Own Risk, and just see what seems to be working, and then spend keys from there.
So obviously the goal for us starting so low is to try to get the time chest in iron. So it's all about trying to get to rank 11, or is it rank 10?
11.
I think it's rank 11, isn't
rank
it?
11.
Yeah. So rank 11. So that's the first goal, and I think I'm going to try to do that as well in 2ER. So we'll face a match. Don't worry, JP. I'm sure Andrew will let me know what's working. She's either in it or for the season, or she won't be within the first half an hour. That's going to be Andrew.
Dirac saying what defense to get on the node right before 3ER.
I'll be getting mortars.
I would say either cannon or mortars, depending on what you're being hit by. I think I probably would prefer mortars, but then, I mean, it depends on A, whether you're diamond rich and you can afford to switch them round during the course of the season, B, what you're getting hit by. So, you know, if you're being heavy rush, then you're going to want the cannons. If there's a bit more Zuka rifle action going on, the mortars will be a better bet. But I wouldn't entertain the sniper towers. I'd be looking at either cannons or mortars.
Yeah, I like the mortars because of the they're just going to obliterate the rifles.
Yeah.
Yes, people might be talking with heavies, but the just even the health on a mortar is greater than
I was just about to say, yeah, of all of the mainstream defenses, what I call the mainstream defenses, the mortars have the most health. You know, cannons, mortars, machine guns, flamethrowers, sniper towers. Of those 5 mainstream defenses, mortars have got the greatest health. So, agree to say mortars before 3, they kill 2/3 of available troops. Yeah, if they land right, then they can.
So there's that. Then looking forward ahead, so my thought on starting the season is I'm actually going to go straight for like machine guns and flamethrowers.
You are. I know, because last time we spoke, you were on about going for brick.
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
Yeah, I think so.
It's about having fun. I get that, but you know, honestly, I don't even think that's a viable path, because if you do get those rank ups and you're going to start, you know, you get to gold, you're just going to be facing bombardier players, and it's just going to be, they're just going to walk through your base.
Well, we were discussing this, and do you think that a fully maxed, fully dirty 3ER could hold its own against bombardiers with not much of anything behind it?
No. 100% no. The bombardiers will free clear it, because all bombardiers need to get done is clear mines, and with critters being available, it's literally going to be crittering, dropping, and then trickling in rifles in. They're just going to go from one side, they're going to drop everything on the left side, and they're just going to walk around. It's not going to be a fast time. It's not going to be like, oh man, 4ER has completely obliterated my 3ER with 3 minutes left on the timer. But it's the bombardiers are just going to literally, you know, walk up. They're going to stay behind. They've got shock bomb available. It's literally like going to be, you know, a free for all. So that's the one biggest thing on this tree is there's a lot of defenses that we're opening up early, but there's also a lot of GBE abilities that should be able to assist us in our attacks. I think a lot of people are underestimating a max med kit as well. A max med kit can easily save your rifles from walking over green mines. There's that. There's obviously critters. Now, critters are huge to serve as a distraction, but I think mainly this season they'll be used to clear mines early on.
Well, the other thing,
then they also add the element of crittering an ER.
I was just about to add that. The other element that they can add is crittering an ER, which, you know, it's easily negated by dropping a flamethrower and a machine gun up in that neck of the woods. But then you're taking away 2 defences from the defence of the overall base. So, you know...
Correct.
It's it has advantages as well. So no, I think if I remember rightly, it's been a while since we've seen critters this early in the tree. So
Yeah,
it'll be nice
right.
to have them. It'll be nice to have them there.
Yeah. See, well, that's the other thing as well, right? Like flamethrowers are a little bit, further on the tree as well. So critters early will get a little bit of a, a look in. I also think so for anyone that is starting obviously a little bit higher than all of us. I think, and I think I said this to a few people at Join at Own Risk. I think the best thing for you guys to do is to go forward, go all the way for the boom cannons first, and then backtrack for something, whether it be BH, whether it be flare and heavies, or flare. I think if you're gonna do, I don't see much heavy rush action anyway. To be honest, the deck layouts don't show that.
I think with the deck layouts being the way they are, I think with the deck layouts being the way they are, and the distance between heavies and troop health and everything in between those two, heavies and troop health, I think that heavy rushing is, I don't think it's in play this season.
Listen, I think it is in play if you have brick, if you get the troop damage. Once you get the troop health, yes, it's probably viable, but you're spending so many keys. I was going to say for Andrew's, to answer Andrew's question, I think it's 5 EST, just to make sure you sleep in, have a good sleep before coming onto warships. She's asking, every season she asks this question.
As soon as you open mortars, because everyone is hitting... as soon as you open mortars, because everyone is hitting you with Zukas, you start getting hit with heavies.
Yeah, but you don't... I mean, the mortars are still good for the heavies because... mortars are going to be predominantly at the front. So mortars aren't going to be... it's all about the... the mortars are going to be taking up so much time of the heavies, right? That then the cannons are picking them off because they're killing the heavies. Because they're killing the mortars, and the cannons behind the mortars are getting... free reign on the heavies. And then if they're got Zukas, they're gonna just walk into a machine gun or something like that because the heavies are gone. So yeah, I think mortars are the way to go, to be honest. Even if you are getting hit with heavy.
I think with this season as well, you're going to have those mortars which are going to be packing 50% building health, or maybe 40% building health in the beginning. They're also going to be doing 40% DVD as well. So I think that the heavies, whilst they'll last a bit longer, it's still not going to be, much of a defence. So you've got 6 mortars along the shore, 5 cannons behind, picking them off. If you pick that second multi-node up, then you can have 6 mortars along the shore with 7 cannon. Oh no, that's flamethrowers.
6 cannons.
Yeah, no, sorry. I thought we had cannon. I thought we had machine mortars on that as well. That's double sniper towers.
Coffee set for 3:50 a.m.
Yeah.
Is that what your husband making it for you, or is it you, Andrew?
I'm not sure if sleeping in is a mistake this season. I think Jess said earlier, of all the seasons that we've had where you have to get up and start, I'm not so sure that you're going to be missing out on much if you're not there when the...
Yes and no, but you just have to realise that within the first hour, 2 hours of the season, bases are going to develop, bases are going to get fine-tuned, and then a player starting rank 14 2 hours into the season or 1 hour into the season is going to have a really tough time, because they're probably facing players that have got to rank 15. They've got all their time chests. They're falling behind the queue. So yeah. It's one of those things that if you're going to leave your run, don't leave it too late, sort of thing. So
yeah, I mean, for us, obviously, starting at 9 a.m, it's not really an issue. We can, set the alarm for a normal sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock. Get up and have a bit of breakfast and a coffee.
Yeah.
Watch the sunrise.
Yeah. Watch the sunrise. Yeah.
And have a nice little leisurely start to the. Oh dear. But yeah,
just remember, normally, most of you Poms work on a Monday morning, don't you?
Yeah, not me. I take Mondays off, mate.
Yeah, that's it. You're saying watch the sunrise, have a cup of tea, all this, and people like McLovin. Well, actually, I know McLovin works from home, so he doesn't have to even leave his house. But all the other Poms are like, oh yeah, I don't get to see the sunrise. I've got to go be at work.
Mr. Poing, you had
Bash one out and get moving.
You had to go there, didn't you? Playing from minute one is my favourite before bases are optimised. Yeah, that's not to be
100%.
fair. I've started doing that recently. You just throw stuff 100%. On the deck and get going.
Yeah, because I'll tell you something. It's going to be in 3R. It's going to be. It's going to be hard to collect ERs. It's going to be hard to collect ERs.
I think.
I dare say within the first 24 hours, there's going to be a lot of fizzling meta, no ERs collected, but winning on percentage. And it's going to be one of those things again that's like, a poorly designed base is going to get you one ER.
Shout out to Angry John T, who's just joined. Falcor, you guys are jerks. Unsubbed, uninstalled. Enjoy your stupid perfect start time. Love it. I'm starting rank 14 and going 4 AR ASAP. Reinstalled 5 minutes later, says Grenz. Todd started at rank 14 and going 4 AR. Yeah, see, I mean, if you can get to Gramps on day one, then absolutely go for it. Absolutely, I think that's the right play. I was looking.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was looking at 100%. It, and I think realistically, so you potentially you're going to be like Wednesday morning before you get Gramps.
Yeah.
But then you're 9 hours ahead of you're virtually a whole chest, or you're a chest and a bit ahead of me. So I've worked it out. You can get them. So would be your Wednesday, your early hours of the morning Wednesday chest. It would be your early hours of the morning Wednesday chest. You could get them without ranking up at all. I know, yeah, you pick up your iron cheese.
Yeah, if I pick up my iron.
Yeah, you'd need to do. Yeah, that's collecting an iron. So, I think we can make it at the back end of that window, but I'm planning on having building health and troop health when I get them as well. Jess made a very salient point, was that after you've got 4ER, maybe the shock might be worth getting before TD and the Gramps, just because if heavy Zuka or rifle Zuka is still viable, then shock makes that hit more viable, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I think rushing to the Gramps is absolutely essential. I can't really see any other play except those crazies like Hammer who are going to be rushing towards Seekers. I think they're right. I think he's right in that if he rushes Seekers, he's probably got a 2-day, maybe a 36-hour window where he can, really kind of go hard, catch up, and kind of.
Sorry, I was just on mute. I had a phone call.
Yeah, no worries.
So, I think the biggest thing is on this season, it's making sure you guys collect ERs. It's not about getting ranked, because it's all about having conversations with Stoneheart in previous seasons. It's all about trying to find a consistent attack. It's not about trying to get a fast time straight away, and then working on the fast time. So knowing that you're going to go hit a base and you're going to get all ERs down, okay, as opposed to leaving one up or something like that all the time and hoping on percentage, isn't a consistent attack. Getting all 4 ERs down and getting 350, 10 seconds left on the timer when your opponent's retreated, that's going to be a win. So, yeah, I'm not saying Grands. You know what? It's going to be one of those things that we're going to get hit with Grands. I don't think they are the right option. But them being there leads to you wanting to think, okay, maybe people are going to start hitting me with tanks and Grens. Is that the right option? I don't think so, because bombers are going to be beating Grens when you get to them. That's for sure. And it seems like I'm hosting BBTFRG.
No, I was just thinking about. I was just thinking about my my donkey account, my stuck at 3 ER account, and actually, tanks and Grens might be the answer for collecting, because obviously I'm going to have to collect all season for my world. I'm going for the world record key spend at the end of this season. 4 weeks at collecting at rank 80 at 3-week values is going to be a lot of keys.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but then having said that, I'm actually going to be spending a fair chunk of keys in 3ER, because when you look at it, in order to stay in gold with that account, I'm going to have to be buying everything or opening up everything in 3ER, with probably the exception of the Warriors and the Grens. But even then, I might need the Grens just to be able to clear bases.
Yeah.
That's the... Maybe it'll end up being a tank, Gren, Iron Will type meta once 3ER is absolutely full. Martin says Grens. Yeah, I'm on a
Listen,
Grens in the third week.
Know what Blass is trying to do. He's trying to justify Grens, because he loves Grens. He wants to get the Grens. Yeah, of course Grens loves these Grens talks. I did see earlier in the chat that Dyson Lee going for tanks. I mean, I'm shocked. I must admit, I'm shocked. This was when I woke up. I jumped in the chat just to say that I'll be on in 20 minutes, and I scrolled up a little bit to see that comment. I had a bit of a chuckle. So
I think that could they be viable?
tanks or Grens?
Tanks. I mean, they might be the only thing that can last the distance.
I don't think they'll last the distance. If a tank hits a boom mine, pretty sure that's dead. Almost.
Depends on whether it's got troop health or not. Troop health will be absolutely critical for the.
Yeah, but then again, see, I think the more, and I think this is, I understand it, but the bigger picture here is 4ER. It has to be 4ER. So whether you're collecting in iron or you're collecting in gold, it's going to take you 65 keys just to get to 4ER, and then you've got like it's another day or another three chests
125 keys.
to get the bombers.
125 keys
To get
from
the bombers.
4 ER to bombers, yeah.
125,
Yeah. So,
including 4ER.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Yeah, including 4ER. 4ER 65 and the other two are 60. So you're looking at like 6 chests and hope that you've got 5 keys left over from previous purchases. Otherwise, you're looking at 7
Yeah.
chests.
Because I can tell you this, bombers will beat tanks, will beat Grens, will beat Brick. And the deck being a little bit more open, meaning their defenses aren't so bunched up together, meaning that you won't have to, your troops might be able to survive a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
All this Grens talks is making Grens want to go to bed.
Yeah.
He has to go to that. I think that's what he's saying.
Fair enough.
Grens dominated the first. Well, I didn't play the first 2 seasons, but Grens always dominate in a fizzle meta, as opposed to a speed meta. Obviously, if you're constantly leaving, all 3 ERs up on your attack, and there's Grens out there. And people go and get the Grens. They're not worried about trying to get your base down quickly. They're just worried. They're just trying to get your base down. So yeah, Grens. I wouldn't say dominate. That's not. I wouldn't. That's a bit of a big word, but yeah.
No,
So
will.
what's the consensus of the community? Do they like the tree? Is everyone on board?
Yeah.
We've got.
I think most people are down with the tree. I think that the whole idea of having a bigger tree with the same reward values on a 4-week season has gone down extremely well, and long may that continue.
Mm-hmm.
If Nunu or anyone from Supercell is watching, long may that continue. I know that it's going to be difficult to design bigger trees, in that you kind of are forced into a 200 statue situation, but you could mix up the multi nodes. You could also add.
I tell you what, no, you could also go 250 troop health with 150 troop. Troop damage.
But what you could also do is add like cryo bomb. You could add speed serum, would just be stupid on warships, in my personal opinion. But there are plenty of other types. With this many, you could have imagine. So we've got 10 multi nodes. 2 of them are mines, and 2 of them are in 7 ER. So we've got 6 other multi nodes. Those 6 have got basic defenses on them. Now, if each one of those had something a bit tasty on it, a boom cannon, a rocket launcher, or something like that, you could also have tiny hack or mini shock or whatever. The hack and shock GBAs, which would negate those. You could have more protos out that way. I think it would make life a little bit interesting. Falcor, love the tree, love the chest values. Supercell hit out of the park 100% until I screw up my path and the season's terrible. No, yeah. I agree. I agree with with Falcor. I think that it's a brilliant idea. The one thing that hangs over this is exactly what you said. Is that on the last 2 occasions that Supercell have dropped an update, it's affected the following season of warships, and I really hope that isn't the case. On a slightly different note, away from warships, I think with the last 2 updates that we've had, given that we've had more updates in the last 6 months than we've had in the preceding 2 years. when you think about it, in terms of what we've actually had in the previous 2 years. We've had HQ 25 and HQ 2024, and that's been it. In the last 6 months, we've had all manner of QOL improvements and bug fixes, and I know that some of the bugs haven't been fixed and some of the bugs have been created more bugs, but for me it shows a massive step in the right direction. And we're in danger of entering into another boom talk, and it might be something that we actually kind of do. Will be my first boom talk, if you like. Will be, how do we view the game sort of 2 years on? BBTFRG have been doing the streams and we've been doing boom talk for a couple of years now. Where's the game 2 years later? But for me right now, everything's positive. The last couple of trees have shown real thought. Since I can't remember what season it was, but the copied season, when it was the same as two seasons. Since then, the last 2 seasons, or this season, last season, have shown real good thought and imagination into the tree. I think some of what we've seen in the updates, the dive spot. Being able to switch between dive spots, the fast forwards on crab and that, they've all been so well received. I just think it's really positive for Boom Beach. I think this tree and the way it's been designed and thought out is just a continuance of that. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So I think Supercell have sort of smashed it out of the park, wanting to improve the gameplay. I know that on previous updates when they just went to HQ 24 and how okay, here you go, have an extra statue, see you guys next year. It didn't really leave a good taste in the community. Then when they'd go to HQ 25 and then they'll still not even address the bugs with HQ.
Here's a new
24.
Here's a HQ and a new statue, and we're going to drag it out over 3 updates. See you next year. Exactly. So, and I think it's good. It's good for the game that they're doing these updates. I like the different twists they're doing now on warships. I also believe there's a lot of new players coming into warships because of the not wanting to be part of the community, but for example, a lot of people that I've talked to wouldn't be playing the game if it wasn't for being in a certain task force, whether that be sugar shit, whether that be join at own risk, whether that be should I say it, chicken chips, but the banter, the sort of the family aspect of it as well, is what brings a lot of players, what keeps a lot of players playing this game. Irrelevant of the bugs or the quality of life, it's all about the people you communicate with, you get on Discord with, you're always chatting on Telegram, and stuff like that. So I think it's bringing a lot of players that would play warships for just to muck around and be collecting an eye and just to get that extra intel for their to start an op. We've got Bold Quoker. We got Bold Quoker in the chat. Good day, all. And I've got a feeling we are just about to get smashed by Skull. I think we're just being raided by Skull. I think I saw just pop up. But no, I one of the things I love is the fact that they've addressed the intel situation. Here he is, Scully. How you doing, my man? We're just sort of shooting the breeze about this season, really. We're kind of not much of a raid, just you and Bold, is it? Yeah, any raid's a good raid. No, I was saying about the intel and the fact that they've listened and they've addressed the issue, and I think they've addressed it big, in terms of raising the cap on the on the maximum amount of intel you can have, and then the frequency with which you can gather intel. Those being able to have 24 chests a day as opposed to one is huge. So yeah, I just think that everything that they've done. Somebody said to me that it feels like a bit of a final Hail Mary in terms of trying to draw people in and get people to play. I kind of understand where they're coming from, but I think that it's bigger with all of the other everything else that they've added to it. I think it's bigger than that, and I think finally we're starting to see Boom moving in a positive direction. But yeah, Scully, what are your thoughts on this tree now you've had chance to kind of digest it from a player's perspective as opposed to a content creator's perspective? I'm not sure you have actually, if you've been doing your warrior.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think Skull's even looked into it. I think Skull's just gonna open it up.
Wing it like wing it like the rest of us. Now I plan on planning. That's why you've come over here to listen to Arthur. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's. We were saying, there's no hard and fast. Normally, there's one or two, maybe three paths to take, and that we would be looking. What do I want that one? We'd be looking for a definitive route to 4ER, but I don't see that. I honestly have no idea what my starting path will be. Well, don't worry, mate. That's we're all in that boat. I think.
I think in Join Our Own Risk, I read a message from Zenbot saying, I haven't even looked at this up and coming warship season. And so yeah, when Supercell throws a new update, Mega Crab and warships, pretty much all within that little 7 days off season, it's a lot for you, boom tubers.
Don't even go there. No, Scully touched on it yesterday when he did his live stream and trying to find time to do all of that. It's been a little tricky to say the least, but we're almost there now. We're 9.5 hours away, so just enough time to go and smash some crab. And
that ×3 isn't going to work in warships, is it?
No. Basically, it only it only works on the base. So NPC and crab stages, because those bases are already constructed on, they're constructed server side, and you play on the base. On the layout, the layout is all the same. When it comes to PvP, either live PvP as in warships, or like the old school PvP on the main island, because every map is slightly different, they can't accommodate that ×3. So no, it won't be on be on warships either. NPC and crab bases only. Yeah, it's basically anything where you're playing on the map server side and they haven't got to kind of look the map up. So I quite like that, ×3 for especially for the.
I do recall there was a bit of force closing was against the TOS, and shouldn't be force closing and all that. So I'm glad they sort of, rather than saying, if you force close it, they couldn't even simulate it anyway. But to add a feature like that.
Again, what they've done is they've looked at what the community want, what the community like, what the community need, and there are, there are players that on your mini accounts, for example, you might play out the first 10 levels because you've only got HZ, but
yes, I didn't think they were. Skull Rights, they weren't the biggest fan when we did it on the stream.
but then what do you do when when you want to go straight in at rank 30, and you know, you can close your eyes and get to rank 30 just because you've got a max, you know, you've got maxed offense.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Hinker, what's up, Hinker? You know,
welcome.
so yeah,
it's the extra, like the supply chest every hour has somewhat brought back map clearing in a way. And I tell you what, the resource bases, you know, obviously now to get the, you know, the VP, you're hitting a resource base. So for some context, I had never really played Main Island until, you know, the new update. So I'm like, you know, I saw Zedmod drop a video, and there was a bit of talk in the off season about how many resource bases we've got, and see you later, Andrew. How many resource bases everyone's got, and some people said, oh, I've had all mine for months, and then the next day they'll come on, they'll be like, oh, all of a sudden I've only got 3 because people are getting it. But the old thing with the resource bases is stacking all your defenses at the back and letting leaving the core at the front, or the the little hut at the front, and you know, you'd spend 10 minutes moving the resource base around for that. So, you know, easy attacks, and then your opponent changes the base on you. We had that as well. So it's a little bit of fun, I think, when you see other people, you know, trying to defend a resource base that is really undefendable.
Yeah, but that's the difference between the people that play within the community, people that don't, you know, that aren't aware of the community kind of thing, and don't get the bigger picture. But no, I think it's fantastic. I think what they've done is great, and I think it's all positive for the game. I don't see it any other way, to be honest.
Yeah, and look, like I said, and again, I really hope that the warship side of the game hasn't been affected. I mean, I don't want to harp on it. It's one of those things that they can't test it because it's just you just can't do it.
You can only test it to a certain degree. You can't.
Well, that's right.
You know, it's like anything. It's all very well. You test it in. You know, you test it game side. You can put it out. You can put it out for us to test as creators. But until you put 1.5.
But see, I think a lot of people have said that, and I just want to make a stand on that. I don't think it's right for you guys to test it either, because at the end of the day, you guys don't get paid by Supercell. You are advertising a Supercell game, and you're making a bit of cash on it. Now, some make a little bit big, like a bit more. Some, you know, but you don't get that from Supercell. Supercell doesn't give you a wage. It's more YouTube. Supercell gives you that access to make content, which generates hype for their game, bringing players into their game, and you guys are getting.
We take a small percentage
from the ad. Yeah,
we take a small percentage from the code. But
yes,
no,
right.
What I was going to say was that, you know, when you put it out to the wider community, and you've got 1.5 million people testing it on thousands of different devices with thousands of different operating systems, that's when the bugs start occurring. And you know, you've got guys out there trying to play on, you know, like iPhone 7s and iPhone 8s with I don't even know where the iOS is, but like, you know, iOSs that are
I think we're up to 14.
2 years out, you know, so playing on iOS 9 that are 2 years out of date, 3 years out of date kind of thing. These are, you know, that's where you start getting these bugs, because it just, you know, like with any technology, you have to move the hardware along at the same or a similar rate to the rate that the software moves along. You know, you can't expect to play an Oculus Rift game on a ZX Spectrum. I mean, it's just nonsense to expect to be able to do that. Just hopped on. So what are we talking about here? We were talking about warships, but we kind of think we just about covered every angle, and I'd made a comment that the update seemed to be very well received, and that it clearly shows signs of Supercell heading in the right direction with the game. And that was sort of, you know, we were just sort of touching on the fact that a lot of what they've added in this update and in the last update has been an improvement. It's, you know, they are quality of life improvements. That's what they've told us they're adding, and I think that is what it's added. I mean, I never used to bother diving for stuff, and now my sub's always being used. Now I just need to find
a part of recent. Is that a part of recent life events?
Recent events. No, I'm steering well clear of that topic. We've even discussed the fact that I've got my Titanic. And we're not going down that route. I think Supercell is playing a prank on you, trying to fit 5 frames into the square screen. Yeah, no, that's right. It's so trying to. If you look if you look at the gap between multi-node 1 and 3ER is tiny. That's how I've had to do it. I've had to take that gap out, squish it right down, and then
I saw that.
Did you see my tech tree? Did we see your tech tree? No. This is.
But while I'm here, kudos on you for the calculator. Obviously, having to. No, come on. You know, putting the pictures all together and stuff like that. I know you've got a bit of a, you know, I know that the background of the calculator. It's got a database. There's a lot of, you know, entries and stuff like that. But I think the community needs to realize that, you know, this doing this sort of stuff, it is very time consuming, and you know, especially with what you've got going on in your background, you could have easily thrown in the towel and said, sorry guys, you know, I just don't have the time to do it. Appreciate you as well, even, you know, taking some time out tonight and jumping on stream. So yeah, I think you definitely deserve a pat on the back, because you could have easily just walked away and said, you know what, guys, you know, no, I'm not in it. I'm not doing it. You know.
Falcor actually dropped a really nice comment in Sugar Ship Chat yesterday, saying thank you for doing it, because obviously he knows what's going on and that. And no, you know, at the end of the day, I know how valuable the calculator is, because I've used it every season since it's been, and in fact I used it before it even got invented, and I didn't have time for a sneak peek, and sometimes I won't have time for a sneak peek, but I will always make sure that the calculator's out, because at the end of the day you've got boom tubers all over the place who produce sneak peeks, but there are a limited number of resources.
Here we go.
I'm trying to think how to be.
I'm not going to be polite. There's only one plan. There's only one calculator, and it's only one that's actually been accurate and doesn't take fractions and figures into it all. It's just hard hitting facts. It's
the difference between the two is that mine is written with mathematics using a mathematic tool. Whereas the girls' is used on it's done on a website, so he's having to use, I don't know whether he's using HTML, he's using some sort of computer coding, and so you have to translate the maths into coding, and there's a hell of a lot more to what his does.
Kudos to him to doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's a great visual. It doesn't have the planning side of it. In all honesty, it doesn't have the have what it takes with the calculator. But I can understand how easy it it does, you know, on the visual side of it, being able to quickly look at it, and you know, you can probably plan your path for day one, but you know, then that's where it gets a little bit difficult. You can't, you know, to save your process. I'm not smashing the planner. Don't want mine to get hit with any controversy and stuff like that. But it's just, there's been a bit of fun and games this weekend with the old calculator and the planner. And,
no, it's simply that you know, mine is just a direct, you know, this is where you start. Therefore, you can work out how many chests you get to that point.
And the calculator, you know, you've had the calculator out for a number of seasons plus of, you know, prior to it actually being released to the public, we had it sort of behind closed doors for about 4 seasons developing it. So things take time,
but it will, as long as I'm able to, I will always have it. You know, it will always be my priority over anything else, because it was the first thing that I kind of gave back. So it was.
But no, kudos to you. Thank you for.
No worries. Yes, it was somewhat tricky trying to squeeze though. I'll be quietly pleased when we go back to being able to get the screenshot in four screenshots. Do you know what, Skull? You just saying that. When you probably find it yourself, when you get on the dev build and you line the tech tree up to take the first picture, it fits in perfectly, doesn't it? It kind of comes up to, so like this section here is like the first screenshot, but when I lined this one up, you found that the edge just kind of came. Just came just over the edge of the, not even a good line, so through the middle of there. It's like, hang on a sec, this is a few pixels out, what's going on here? And it was only when you kind of did the whole tree that you realised that you needed 5 pictures, not 4, that it was all like, oh no, this is going to be a nightmare now, because and nothing's gonna, it's so normally like yes, it is JP on call, Hinker. So normally, like, these 3 nodes would be in perfect alignment with the 3 nodes down here, and then these 3 would be in perfect. But obviously, as you can see, you kind of get to here and it jumps over there, and then this one, does it match up with here, or where's it supposed to match up? I mean, this one's is, and in actual fact, that these nodes here should really be up on the top, sort of over here, and yeah, it's just been from an aesthetic point of view, it doesn't look nice, but it works, and that's the main thing. Right,
it did confuse a lot of people as well, because a lot of people are like, this tree looks nice, and then they didn't realise that, you know, they're all dead end nodes, and you know, I get HC's in 6CR, and it's like, well, no, HC's in 4ER.
Yeah. No, JP normally jumps on with us. We had Jess here earlier. Jess sort of dropped in and to put his 2 penneth worth in, and now Polly's coming.
I'm just here to collect my paycheck in car. It's all good.
Thrown his 2pence worth at it. So no, I think the things that we can take away from this chat is that nobody's got a clue what we're doing. We're all going to sit on our backsides. 100%. We're all going to sit on our backsides and wait for Scully to go live. We're going to watch what he does, and then we're going to make our decisions based on Scully's live stream.
100%.
So it's over to you, Skull. No, I think like Polly said when guinea pig, yeah, like you said when you first came on, we said, you know, when we at the top of the stream, I think this season is the season that you have to pick a path, and you have to commit to it, and you have to stay committed to it until probably 6ER. I think once you're somewhere between 5 and 6ER will be when you've got the option to just deviate slightly. But I think if you deviate off your path, then you're going to find yourself behind. And then it's just a question of hoping that you've got the one of the correct paths that take you to that 500 and beyond. So
so it's one of those things that this season it's a couple of things is play to your strengths. A lot of players, a lot of people in the community have played this game long enough, and they know that there are, for example, I like my rocket choppers, but Martin hasn't got the rocket choppers down to a T yet. So that's just an example. Obviously, rocket choppers aren't well, they are available this season, but they're available way too late. So I'm gonna have to talk to Nuno about that. I don't like when rocket choppers are down the tree. I think the biggest thing is to not get caught up in a meta that is going to only last one day. I think bombers are everyone's goal. So you just need to get to bombers, and you want to try to get there with everything on path first. And then if you need to go back for something, but don't, keep going back for something else. Because bombers are going to be the one thing that, and I know what's going to happen. Everyone's going to get bombers, and then someone's going to be like, okay, what next? With the bombers, at least we're going to be collecting ERs, and then it's all going to be about base design and it's all going to be about base design and basically speed again. So
drywall manufacturers sponsor this season between 5 and 6 ERs. They'll get extremely busy, not to mention best buys. all those mobile phone device shaped holes in the walls. What about swapping cryoneers with rocket choppers? Cryoneers with rocket choppers could have been an option. Cryoneers are mid 5 towards 6 could have been an option. Thing is, we had rocket choppers really early last season, so they've kind of gone and said, you've had a season of rocket choppers, you're not having them this season. Who was it came up with again, another salient point, was that with all of the D on deck, maybe cryos might actually play a role this season. One boat of cryos might actually play a role. If you imagine maybe 3 boats of mechs, 1 boat of cryos, bullet, 4 boats of bombers, all that, you've got the cryos, you've got the mech stunning stuff, you've got the cryos slowing everything down. It just means that shield, might last a little bit longer. We'll see when we get there. I just wanted to.
Actually got a quick sorry for Skull and yourself, man. I don't actually think any of you guys will have the answer. Is Supercell actually going to be working on Kavan to actually be able to respawn mechs, or is that is there a reason? The reason behind them not doing that due to basically being able to respawn mechs is basically going to just be breaking the game a little bit more. Not that it's
officially no word, or not that I've heard, unless Scully knows any different. I think respawning mechs, like respawning Seekers, would almost be game breaking. I suppose the difference being that Seekers only appear in warships, whereas mechs are on the main base. So by rights, he should.
Yeah, see, I always think about the mechs and the Scorchers. I think we already know how Scorchers are. You get 2 per boat. Basically, they have a whole lot of health. They do a whole lot of damage. So, being able to respawn a Scorcher, getting that full back health and stuff like that. But then with the mech, it was just never like. It's like sort of been like, okay, is there a reason why mechs aren't getting spawned, and then Kavan can't spawn them? But I would have thought that it's something that they would have tried to fix in the update?
I think that there's only so when it comes to these quality of life and bugs fix updates that they're rolling out, I think that there is only so much that they can do at any one time. Obviously, everything that they change has a knock-on effect on other stuff, and we've seen that this time round because they've sorted out Sparky not firing at critters, but that's had a knock-on effect with let me get this straight. They've sorted out Brick's cluster grenade, so it doesn't fire at critters from a critter launcher. But as far as I'm aware, that is what caused the bug with Sparky and her hack. Now they've sorted that out as well. Okay, you can't double hack, but it's something that they're aware of and they're working on. Now, if they fixed,
Well, no, that was an intended fix. That the double hack was never supposed to happen.
I've not heard what was or wasn't with that, but I think if they try and fix too much at once, there's the danger of breaking too much at once. And of course, it's a fine balance between having a nice amount of fixes and changes and improvements and releasing them, and being radio. We've been, especially at BBTFRG, extremely critical of the radio silence that we experienced from Supercell over a period of time, and now they're sort of talking about this update, that update, the other update that they're rolling out. Like I said a moment ago, we've had more updates and more new stuff added to the game in the last 6 months than we've had in the previous 2 years, possibly even 3 years. I think that's, and we're still only halfway through the year. Do you remember when the game first came out and we used to get like quarterly updates? So we'd have a little update in the spring, there'd be a big summer update, and then a little update in the autumn, and then a big Christmas update. We're in danger. We're in danger. We're on schedule to have 4 updates again this year, when you think about it, and that would be unprecedented. Yeah. Unprecedented. No, I think, for me, everything shows signs of Boom being on the up. Now, I don't think we're suddenly going to find ourselves with Task Force versus Task Force or revenge attacks or some of the things that people are asking for, but I think that what they're doing and what they're adding, they're just really nice touches. Like I said, being able to switch between dive sites, the fast forwarding, they put the green and grey arrows on, and people went, I don't really like the grey arrows, they're a bit, they're getting in the way, they're this, they're that. Okay, so we're going to leave them there and we're going to give you a toggle switch. Brilliant. You're listening to the community, and you're responding to the community by keeping what you want there. As developers, you've got the grey arrows for those that want it, and to be honest, it's quite useful. You've got a bunch of resources, you go and toggle that on. What can I upgrade? I can upgrade that, rather than having to click on it and see whether your numbers are yellow or red, and then click on something else. You can now just go, that's got a grey arrow, that needs updating, that needs how much more? I only need another 17 wood to upgrade that. I'll go and claim back that resource base. Bosh, do your update. That's a lovely little touch. They've listened to the community when the community said about Intel and how hard it is to come by, and how you earn like a bucket load over this weekend with Crab and the starter warships, and then in 3 weeks' time we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So they went, okay, we've increased the amount you can hold. We've also made it more accessible by having the 24-hour chests. That in turn makes things like diamonds, more accessible, and these speed up tokens as well is another lovely little touch. So you've still got the speed up ability, but you haven't got to pay money for it. Yet again, giving people another way of like speeding the game up, but without paying real money. Diamonds are just so... I can't ever remember playing any sort of game where the premium currency was so readily available for free. I mean, I used to a long time ago, back in the day, I used to play Simpsons Tapped Out. The premium currency on there was donuts, and they were so hard to get. You know, really just like. But with Boom Beach, it's just like diamonds. You want some diamonds? Here's some diamonds. You want some diamonds for doing that as well? Here's some more diamonds. Diamonds for finishing warships. There you go. You don't even have to play. You don't even have to play a battle. All you have to do is start one battle a season, and you get free diamonds from warships. You don't even have to play it out. Literally, just go battle, wait for it to match you, and then turn.
I actually think you need to just open up the warships thing, and then it gives it to.
You
don't even have to play battle.
Until you get down to rank 1. Rank 1, part 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got, but yeah, I mean, minimal effort, and you get 50 free diamonds a season. You know, there's diamonds. There's diamonds all over the map. No, I for me, what they're doing is moving the game in a positive direction after a couple of years of what seemed like us just stagnating as the red-headed stepchild of Supercell games. No offence intended to any red-headed stepchildren out there, of course. Delboy in the chat, what's up, my friend? But yeah, that's where I stand. That's where I stand on the updates, on the 2 updates that we've had. Boom Beach. Boom Beach is the opera of giving everyone free in the game. Currency, you get diamonds. Everyone gets diamonds. Yeah, it is. It is just, there's, and then with these speed up tickets as well that are now available. Delboy, look, I got 42,000 diamonds, and you probably haven't had to pay for those, and you've not really worked for them, and it's just they just come along for free. The one thing that I want now is a faster way to convert shards. Because I've got so many shards. I don't mind paying that, but I want to be able to mass convert them. I want to be able to take 7.
I'd like to do a bit of a toggle in there, and it's just how many would you like to get converted? Yep, convert 70.
Yeah.
Which obviously gives you 10, or do it. Will give me 7 at a time.
49.
Because I'd be doing.
49 gives you 7. So easy to get diamonds. You get an active task force doing ops, 29 a day from dead end, hourly chests on the map, defending your base, warships crab, trader, warships chest. No, it is. It's, they're almost not even a premium currency, and these
and then saying that as well, they're so easy to spend, especially when you're playing warships. You have how many multi-node choices and changes and stuff like that. Let's it's comfortably that you're going to be you're going to get up to a multi-node choice, and to change it over, you're going to be spending 1,000 diamonds. So that 1,000 diamonds is already it's worth its way up every 100. Every change you add 100. So it's very easy to use 4,000 diamonds in a season.
do you not get yes, it's just intel, isn't it? I mean, there's diamonds are everywhere. They are everywhere. So Nima Lima, I have 600 plus ice shards. I've got on my
I've got a lot more than that.
I think I've got 6,000 and 7,000 ice shards, 6,000 or 7,000 green shards. It's ridiculous amount of that's where because it's just like it's almost too much aggro logging into the game and building another statue every hour, especially when you've got your perfect statues. Trader tickets, I've got over 2,000 trader tickets just waiting to be. I think Chicken did 20,000 plus diamonds on previous season. Wow. I mean, I've done a fat amount of diamonds on a season that I pushed hard. But trader tickets are something else that they need to need to deal with. I don't think we're very far away from a new hero, and by that I mean like the next 12 months. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a new hero in the next 12 months of some description. Because we've got all of these trader tickets, we've got all of these hero tokens, and I've just about maxed out all my hero abilities now purely because I can, you know.
I actually I was saving my trader tickets, thinking, okay, with maybe one of these quality of life updates is going to have a new hero, but obviously haven't. So I'm starting to spend them now to do the upgrades on the rest of like the abilities that aren't really used much on the heroes.
I
may as well do it.
I also love the two-factor verification for the resource boat.
I think that.
And I love the fact that you can see how much you've got in there. That I love that. I think that's a lovely touch when you kind of bang on that and you kind of like, how much? 182 million gold, 216 million.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, so that's my next 2 updates sorted. Proto parts, it's sort of proto weapons are all right if you're pushing. I think another HQ update is incoming. I tend to feel that the next update will probably be more QOL stuff, more bug fixes.
Well, I remember Nuno being adamant that there will be no more HQ upgrades. That there'll be no more any further updates from Supercell will purely be QOL and slight variations, maybe some new features into the game, but we'll never have another HQ. They've said that in the past, and then they probably could do something different. So you never know. I think the other thing is that I'm pretty sure that Supercell have now got 2 to 3 developers just purely focusing on Boom Beach, and I think that is it shows because 6 months ago that's when that was sort of announced in a way. So, and then we're getting all these updates now. So it's a step in the right direction. Like I said, I just hope that this Warships season isn't bugged, or I take all my comments back about how good the game is.
I mean, I hope that you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, and that this update has no impact on this season at all. And that it all goes swimmingly, and we have no sort of issues related to we have no issues related to the fact that we've had the update. The update has rolled out. The update's rolled out fairly smoothly. We only had that one small bug with Sparky. There's a couple of people reported issues with like base notes not working, but nothing that seems to have stuck other than the Sparky thing. Falcon, my guess is that Flare won't work at all, so I'm not unlocking it until I know it works.
Yeah.
It's in the wrong place. It should be switched with boom cannons. So if you didn't open it, then you'll get the extra boom cannons. Now I'm quietly optimistic. I am quietly optimistic for this season and for future seasons. I think we're going to start to see. I hope we're going to start to see some real kind of different.
Well, I'm excited for the the Seekers not following flares when shocked, and the RCs not flying You know, you're
Now-
trying to fly them,
now-
flare them to the left and fly it, and you know.
Yeah, I
So-
know that's one that you're looking forward to testing out. Nima Lima's just put something. You know what? How about a radar upgrade to unlock Hammerman's main base in the south of the map? That would be nice. Aaron and I need to get the list off him. Aaron and I discussed a few sort of issues, and having a like an operations base that you have to take down on your own, but you only get one hit a day. So like imagine like War Factory on steroids, but you only get one hit a day. So it's like a one-man operation.
To give us more
Whatever you choose to have in there as rewards. You know, you could have
to give us more rewards that we don't need.
well, powder, diamonds.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
powder and diamonds are the two real. All we need is Budweiser and Seekers. Yeah, powder and diamonds are the two real consumables. We need more ways to spend our resources, yes, but that means more updates. And, you know, is that going to happen? I don't know. Do you really want to be sat there and just constantly upgrading a mortar just so it looks different, or a rocket launcher?
Yeah,
So, you know, and if you start upgrading defenses, then you have to upgrade offense to be able to balance it all out. And you know, it's a difficult one. So where do you spend those resources? Well, that was what the introduction of tribes was for. You know, I think that tribes are stale. I think that the tribes are boring. I think that the tribes are predictable. I'll take more power powder over diamond, says Skull. Yeah, and that's because you play ops as much as you play warships, and you know, operations are very very consumable when it comes to power powder, especially when you're doing them like live, and you know you're not able to double dip. But yeah, I think that the tribes
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Tribes are an area that I think that they need to look really hard at and think to themselves, you know, how can we, you know, I know that they said, not in the most recent one, but the update before that they were going to have some of the new troops featuring in those tribe cycles.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen that.
I think we've seen one or two possibly. And I'd like to see some more imaginative tribe boosts.
Yeah, I would like for warships as well to, you know, for them to give us those proto weapons like the MG3000. Put that on the deck, you know, as a proto. You know, the
super mortar.
You know, give us a super mortar. Give us a proto troop. One proto troop every season. You know, like, imagine how cool will it be to have you know, the melon bombardiers, you know, or the rainmaker, or you know, the one of those. Just add every season.
Hey,
you know,
rainmaker.
Give us the proto.
Rainmaker with speed serum.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to break the game, but
the Rainmaker's slow AF. It really is. So you'd need.
Yeah, it is.
You'd need that to speed it up. But no, I hope that they are thinking about, you know, where are the like the flat spots within the game, and I think that tribes are a flat spot. And I think tribes are a flat spot, and I think Del Boy saying Super Grenadier. What was the other flat spot? Tribes and what's the other one we
trader
discussed?
tickets.
Yeah, well, I'm optimistic that the trader options are going to kind of sort themselves out now that they've changed the way the trader's operating. That we've got these, you know, the speed up tickets are available in there, and maybe we'll see some powder as well. The tribes this time around were not appropriate for the crab. The tribes and the crab are not linked. The tribes run on an independent cycle from the crab. They don't kind of look at the crab and go, oh, how can we optimize the tribe cycles to go with the crab? Sometimes they'll match and sometimes they won't, and it's just really whether the keys on the cogs align as the two wheels turn. To use a kind of mechanical analogy, sometimes they're going to clash and neither wheels will turn, and sometimes they'll link together perfectly and you'll get like the perfect combination. But yeah, they don't it's not, one isn't deliberately set to go with the other. Which I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a crab player, so I suppose I'm a bit ambivalent to that one. But I understand that, that some people, are going to want that. I think that the crabs could do with spicing up, with changing different themes. I know they did the turtle one, obviously, and it would be nice if they could do that. But I think when you look at the crabs that we have, Scorcher, the Scorcher crab, the Hasty crab, the Life Leech crab, some of them work really well, and others are just kind of feel like they're just there for the sake of it. Delboy's just put imagine Gramp speed, mech speed, laser speed, damage. But you could do a laser crab, couldn't you, where you've got lasertrons and laser ladies featured with laser troop damage boost and health and
yeah, definitely.
I think that would be an option. You know what, Martin? This means one thing: Boom Talk is back. No, it will be. I'd say that. You know me. I could sit and wax lyrical about Boom for hours, especially when you've got people on the stream with me who are just as enthusiastic. And Polly is one of those, and Jess is as well when it comes to warships, and I certainly know if we're going to do Boom Talk, then Scully will be involved, and it's somewhere that I eventually want to take. But I've got to put a few things in my house in order first. But yeah, we were sort of saying a minute ago, that this is rapidly turning into a Boom Talk.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've got to jump off because I need
to. Yeah, I'll bring it back. I will bring it back, Adam. I will bring it back. But like I said,
it's a lot. Content is a lot. I think at some points people don't realize how much goes in and time consuming it is to provide content for people. And most of the time we're doing it for free. I mean, even though you're monetized, it's not like you're making a cash windfall from, a bunch of streams.
I'm not monetized yet.
Really?
Right. So when we transferred ownership, they stop you from being monetized. Now the 38 days is up, but can I get it to work for me? I've only started having a look at it tonight, but you've got to go through so many verification processes. Once I get there, it'll be easier, and it's just switched back on again. But still
they lowered. Last week they lowered the requirement.
Yeah, I saw that. 500 and 3,000, isn't it?
Yeah, 3,000 over the course of a year.
Yeah,
and 500 subscribers. I mean, it's significant, but they're trying to compete with Twitch and and
Yeah.
Kick and all those other platforms. So they needed to.
Yeah, it's only because I can't. So because the Google account was in Aaron's name, and it was with, everything was with Aaron, and we've transferred.
All right, boys, I got to drop out.
No worries, mate.
All right,
Thanks a lot.
You guys later.
Catch
See
you
you later,
soon.
guys.
Yeah. We transferred ownership of the Google account. Really, what I should have done in hindsight, and may end up having to do, is to take over the channel with my own Google account, not a Google account that Aaron's had. But I'm going to look into. I'll take a little bit of a deeper look at that tomorrow. I literally tried doing it before I came on stream tonight and ran in rapidly headfirst into a brick wall, and then thought that I need to get the stream up and running. So yeah, hopefully within a week or two, or maybe within a day or two, I can have it monetized, and we can start reaping the benefits of you lot watching adverts. But I've got a dog just starting to squeak in my ear as well. Are you still on with me? Yeah, you are still on with me. I think we've just about covered everything there is to cover. We are 9 hours, T-minus 8 hours and 50 minutes away from ship launch. So I am going to sign off, and I'm going to get some shut-eye before we go live. I'm sure that Scully may well want to get some shut-eye before he fires off his stream, or maybe not. Maybe he's going to stay up all night, but either way.
We had to work today.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Normally doesn't have to work,
No,
but I think that.
I know he said that they were staff short or something, and he's got a manager on holiday and they were staff short or something. But I'm sure he'll be there. I'm sure he'll be there in the morning. Right. I've got an idiot of a dog squeaking at me, trying to get my attention. And yeah, I am gonna.
Are you
Yeah,
good?
I'm good. I'm gonna sign off. We're gonna call it quits, and then.
Yeah, no worries. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in a few hours for the madness to commence.
The madness ensue.
Until then, Until then, please, just choose your path carefully
and stick to it. Commit. That's what I would say. Be commit. Right.
And then it's okay to wait. It's okay to wait before you check. But later, guys.
4-week season. Thank you all very much for joining us. I will see you over the next day or two for my first stream of the season, and hopefully I won't be regretting my choices too much. But for now, it's a good night, and thank you all for coming. Just remember, I said it was you, Falcor Cryos, for the win. Yeah, thank you all very much for coming. And remember, people, if you don't do anything I wouldn't do, if you do, don't get caught. But if you get caught, you don't know me. All right, guys, good night.